No sympathy. We got all the resources in the world with where we're at. But it's a place where we kind of had to build a foundation to catch up with, again, some of these other storied programs. And I don't think you ever, I guess Coach Saban would argue, but you don't ever really get to a point where you can look down on everybody, because the instant you do that, you're probably going to take an uppercut from one, if not multiple places.
Well, the old Nick Saban mentioned there.
So instantly Bama fans like Tony Vitello a lot
maybe
more.
That guy is not so bad.
He's not so bad.
So half of the current SEC have won championships, 8 teams, right?
5 straight from 5 different teams.
Yeah, and you got
crazy.
2 new teams in next year, one of which will have a new coach in Texas, and it might have been a guy coaching last night. So.
10 of the last 15 national champions in baseball in Omaha. We're actually, that's the strongest sport probably.
And it's
baseball.
only stronger with Oklahoma and Texas coming in.
And same with softball. The 2 diamond sports probably the toughest of all the sports in the SEC now. Fun show. Thanks for being with us again on this Tuesday. Hey, be safe out there. 100 degrees where we're living. Over 105 million Americans under heat advisory today. So be careful as we hit the afternoon hours. Check on your pets too. Your elderly neighbors, people like me, and your pets. Check on us. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store. Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to NextRound.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to NextRound.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round. presented by Bud Light, is on now.
NBA draft tonight. We'll talk about the guys who are in it and the guys who left the draft to come back and play a little college football. Bruce Pearl talking about future games in Birmingham. Mark Gottfried and Nate Oates got together on a podcast. You'll hear from them coming up. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, the rest of the crew here. A lot to get to. Our 40 and 40 countdown gets to the ledge of the top 10 today. At number 11, we'll unveil a new team coming up in the next segment. And we'll talk to SEC voice Jacob Hester later in the show. He'll join us.
Why is he on?
He's on maybe to unveil a team today.
Oh.
Yeah, we may get to that coming up.
Sometimes it's a tip-off.
In the next segment. Let's start, though, with people who talk out of both sides of their mouths. Jim Schlossnagle condescending to the reporter 2 nights ago now. Then yesterday, less than 24 hours, I assume he wasn't still in Omaha when he accepted the Texas job, or maybe he already had. If you're not familiar, he's the head coach at Texas A&M, who apparently left his family at TCU to take the Texas A&M job while he's coaching Texas A&M on the day of. Oh, this is him getting back to College Station.
So he's probably already. Well, he has agreed in principle.
Oh yeah, at this point he's 100%.
What a shitbird! I just, you're going to get asked a question more than likely.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. Don't attack. Don't go into depth. All he's got to say is, I'm thinking about my players right now.
That's right. That's
right.
there
is something that, and I blame a lot of this on whoever's representing him. I don't know who his agent is, but they got to be prepared for this too. Hey, Jim, you're going to be asked immediately after this, win or lose, what you're going to do. And there's just so much to this. Look, I understand that Chris Del Conte, his former boss, TCU from 2004 to 2021, they've got that relationship. But to leave A&M to go to your bitter rival, and I don't know how much, like Texas might be the apex when you're talking about college baseball, but Schlossnagle just had him playing for the national championship. Yep. He's going to make as much money or more. The only thing I can think about outside of the relationship with Chris Del Conte, it comes down to the ADs. Like, how difficult is Trev Alberts to work for? Like, does Trev Alberts have a lot of commitment to baseball?
I don't know how you would know that, though. How long has Trev Alberts been on the job?
Yeah. I don't know, but it could have been
January.
Yeah, a couple months.
Could have been a couple of conversations. He could have asked around, and Trev's a difficult guy to deal with. I don't know, but it's just, I don't know why you would leave A&M to go to Texas.
Well, let's start first on the Texas side of this, because this is what bothered me the most, is the fact that they made the announcement on the day of the national championship with their rival playing in the national championship game. And I misread it until Trey Wallace was on our show. I read it like this was going to landmine the Tennessee folks.
Right.
That, Vitella's name was being mentioned.
Because it had been mentioned there were heavy rumors about him for several weeks now.
And then Trey said, no, he's not leaving anywhere. These Texas folks who are coming to our league, man, they're coming in.
Sneaky.
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
They come in on you could have fired your coach 20 days. I mean, you've been out for 20 days at the end of the baseball season. You could have fired him at any point. You fire him on the day your team is playing, your rival is playing in a deciding Game 3 of the World Series, knowing you're about to hire their coach away that night. That is crappy all the way around. For Schlossnagle, they put him in a bad position, firing him then, put A&M in a horrible position. They don't care about that because they're Texas people. But that was shady business by Del Conte, in my opinion.
I agree. I think it was Bush League. I think the whole thing around, again, going back to Schloss's post-game press conference to the way this announcement went down, all I can tell you right now is I've never really cared. I've liked that rivalry. But what's the date? November 30th at College Station. I hope Texas has got 1 or 2 losses. And I hope A&M keeps him out of the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Nothing would be better.
I said the same thing last night to people, LT. I was like, I really have never, I think I've gone back and forth, always cheering for an upset in that rivalry. I just want to see an upset in that rivalry. But I think I'm all Aggies now. They're weird cult cheering overall wearing.
Yeah, I mean, even if they win that game, it's not going to matter. It's not like they're going to win a championship.
I cannot pull for Texas A&M football with those male cheerleaders. I got to tell you, I can't do it. I can't pull for a team that's only male cheerleaders. I mean, that is so antithesis to what college football is all about. We've got to have female cheerleaders at college football, Jim. They're only male cheerleaders.
It seems to come down, you're cheering for either the male cheerleaders or the Soviets is what it comes down to.
Texas has female cheerleaders and chaps.
Yep.
I mean, and it's going to be hard to go against that as a good red-blooded heterosexual American male that I am. I got to go for the female cheerleaders and chaps versus the only male cheerleaders. It's not that they've got male cheerleaders, it's that they've only got male cheerleaders.
Well, and it's a Longhorn to a Collie, too.
Well, that's never really bothered me.
Well, you're a meat guy, right?
I would think you'd go Collie. I think you'd go
Well,
Collie.
I mean, I love
You're
dogs.
saying I go Longhorn.
Yeah,
I am a meat
I would
guy.
think that,
I've never eaten Collie.
Yeah,
No.
I've had steer.
I'm just saying I don't like. I mean, just imagine. And people were adding me last night on Twitter that your guy Nick Saban said the same thing.
Well, he did.
He was in the NFL.
Oh, it's no different. It doesn't matter if he's in the NFL.
Well, I know he's coming from Miami, going from one rival to the other. I don't see how you can go to work every day at one school and then go and then coach at the rival.
Yeah, I'm not going to airbrush over it. Nick Saban said the same thing. What Nick Saban did not do was get personal with the reporter. That's the thing that bothers me. Coaches do this denial and take a job all the time.
But not only the getting the personal with the reporter, but going deeper on why you shouldn't have asked that
That's
question.
right. Yeah, I mean,
knowing
he
he's
got
already
super
accepted
personal.
the job.
Rockstar cut one. Let's refresh everybody's
Yeah, and I would
memory.
love to hear the Nick. Can we find the Nick Saban clip?
If I have to say it, I'll say it. I'm not taking the Alabama job. I think that's really all he said.
But him lying here is not my problem here.
No, the coaches do that all the time. I'm 100% with you.
It's the fact is Kendall Rogers, who's D1 baseball. You've had him on our show many
Kendall's
times.
good, yeah.
He covers college baseball. I think, and they were saying in my bookie chat, he reported last night that according to his sources, Sloss had taken the job between the Georgia series and the Super Regional.
Oh my God!
That he's been the Texas coach.
So he should,
for a month now?
Before he even got to Omaha.
So he should have a response plan. My problem with it is the exaggeration. Not only pointing at the reporter and basically belittling him, but just to exaggerate the lie and talk about family and going into that whole thing. It would be the equivalent of somebody getting caught in a strip club, and they're trying to tell the lie, and they're telling their wife or girlfriend, you know what? I had a car wreck, or I had a flat tire. You make the lie worse. You go deeper and deeper into it.
Yeah, and you eventually get entangled.
Yeah, just own it or quickly just diffuse the situation. But, I mean, his response is classic.
Yeah, real quickly on strip clubs and lying. Can I just tell you real quickly how...
I still haven't been back to one since we were in Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, that's been a long time.
That's almost a decade.
Yeah. This was, I won't use names, but this was probably the biggest break I ever got in my career. I was part-time at CBS 42 right out of college.
Okay.
And I won't use the name, but the gentleman who was full-time weekend sports anchor had gone to the strip club near the TV and radio stations up there in Valley, Sammy's, and was in a station vehicle there with equipment in the back, and had left there and just ran into a bunch of cars at those condominiums before you get to Vulcan.
Oh, just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
like
just
that, yeah.
took out 2 or 3 of them. Instead of lying about anything, he got out of that car, walked to his home from there, and left the unit, the wreckage, and the camera in the back and everything.
Did he write his 2-week on a Post-it and just put it on there?
He never heard from him again. They called me up on Monday.
Like he really disappeared?
I never heard from him again, and and never came to the station again. On Monday, they called me.
Now he's a Sports Center anchor.
Yeah, you now know him as Scott Bennett. But they called me and said, "Hey, congratulations, you're now our weekend sports anchor." And I was like, "Well,
got to get a break somehow."
Yeah, got to get a break somehow. Here's Jim Schlossnagle on. God, I just don't like this guy. I didn't even know he existed until yesterday.
Yeah, I probably could not have named you the manager for Texas A&M until the postseason. Yeah.
I didn't care about baseball. Didn't know this guy existed until yesterday. He is now reason number 97. I don't like Texas. Here we go.
With the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But
selfish.
I left my family to be the coach at Texas
A&M. That's not selfish.
I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again.
Oh, wow.
And that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft.
Which I think he is, right?
By the way,
he
gets drafted, yeah.
But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't give everything to their job? Come
I
on,
mean, a lot of
Sloss.
people don't.
Come on, Sloss.
I know it is actually, there's a lot of humor in that when you go back and watch it now.
Yeah.
And different things jump out.
I mean, it's one thing if he takes the job, take the job. But that is never going to go away.
No.
And maybe he just feels like, you know what, I am such a great coach. And obviously his track record
he's very good,
proves he is
clearly,
really
yeah.
good. And now that he is taking what a lot of people view as the best job in college baseball, maybe he believes he's just going to dominate, and who cares what people think.
Well,
Do we really
That'll
think
never
it's the
go
best?
away.
Do we think it's the best job in college
Texas?
baseball?
I mean, based on the history, probably. Well, I mean, I don't
we
know.
say that about a lot of
USC's
Texas jobs, and then
Yeah.
I mean, they're about to be in the SEC. If I'm going to be a baseball coach, I want to be in the SEC. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the recent College World Series outcomes.
Yeah. 10 of the last 15.
But you're going to want to be an SEC coach, which Texas is about to be. So, I mean,
You can make the argument, but I think if Sloss would have stayed in College Station, you might have been able to make the argument in the next 3 or 4 years. That was the best job.
I don't
college
know
baseball.
enough about the college baseball game. Like, if this were football, I think I could give a more educated answer.
Yeah.
But, like, you're telling me you can't do at LSU what you can do, everything you can do at Texas?
Yeah,
Well, I think LSU has.
I think they have.
But you can at Tennessee too. You know,
You would think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would-
Vitello, I mean, when he was getting that's one of the things we talked about. I mean, I don't know. It seemed different, though, going from Tennessee to Texas. Like, I made the argument you could stay both ways, but I understand if you leave Tennessee to Texas. Texas A&M to Texas, though, with the resources and everything. I guess you got the resources at Tennessee. You got the resources anywhere.
I don't
now.
know, Lance. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what these coaches see. I don't know why they jump so quick. I will say, this is guys like this, and he can do whatever he wants, but guys like this are the reason I cannot stomach coaches complaining about the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah.
When I see coaches talk about how the transfer portal is destroying college football, I'm like, your own industry does this.
Yep.
This is the most hypocritical thing when coaches start belly aching about the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Or you do it all the time.
Or when they start belly aching about God, we're paying this kid blah 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 in NIL, and now he's coming back. He's wanting more. Well,
Exactly. Well,
you just had a great season.
Yeah, what do you do?
You want more.
Yeah, this is-
How will he ever bitch about somebody leaving his
and
program?
he will.
Oh, I know
he
he
will.
will.
He will. And I don't know if anybody will ever call him out. Like, Jim, you literally said, and I quote, I left my
You know what I'm
family
doing?
for
If
this
I'm
job.
A&M, I am taking a good part of my collective. Sorry, football. We're not going to win one anyway.
Oh, wow.
And we are going to take as many Texas players. We're going to flip as many Texas guys. Once they get there, once they have a year on campus, we're going to flip as many guys as possible out of that program.
You know the best ending to this story ends up that Texas struggles as they come into the SEC, and Sloss gets fired in 2 years.
And whoever gets this A&M job wins the College World Series.
Well, and if you say that's impossible, Texas's head coach that just got fired was in the College World Series 2 years ago and 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I think in 21 and 22. Yeah, that's right. He missed it for 2 straight years. And
Yeah. So
of course,
it's one
Chris Del Conte, he's a snake. I mean, apparently.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, because your guy was in the. You have one off year, if you even call it an off year, and you fire the guy just to. I mean, there's no loyalty there at
Apparently,
all.
because you can get who you think's a better coach.
I mean, wasn't the Supers this year? Was it Texas A&M versus Texas?
I think that's right. Yeah.
It seemed like it was. It seemed like I watched that series.
No, I don't think so.
You don't
Was
think
it
so?
not?
I think
Okay.
that might have been last year.
You think it was last year?
Yeah.
It seemed like it was pretty good. So here we go, man. Welcome to the SEC, Texas. It's gonna. I love Sark so much, but I don't have to back off of Sark because he's at Texas. I have to. I cannot cheer for this group that's coming in.
Do you think
Chip's the only thing I like about Texas right now. Not Chips, but Chip Brown.
Chip Brown?
Yeah,
Do you think?
by association.
Would you say right now? Keep in mind now, July 1st is not rolled around. Alabama is the most hated team among the combined SEC fan bases.
Oh, easy.
Okay. Or the most hated school.
Yeah,
school
probably
overall.
just because it's all going to be the focus is going to be football.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you-
Nate's rubbed some people the wrong way winning some
Absolutely.
basketball.
Yeah.
So
Well, and Nate's a brash guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rubbed people the wrong way.
yeah.
I mean, if Texas won one this year, they could immediately be that.
So
villain.
would you say Alabama's the most hated, and Kentucky might be the second most hated just because of basketball? Or who's the second most hated? Do you think?
I don't know.
Among the combined fan bases,
Probably
it's hard.
Georgia now, just
Yeah.
because Georgia has gotten.
people don't like winning.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, Blake immediately, okay, people are disagreeing with me. Chris, now he's an LSU fan in the mybookie.ag chat room, says it's Florida. Now, Florida LSU's got a long rivalry. Blake says, I think Georgia is the most hated, what you said. Daniel says it's Bama by a mile. Morgan says Kentucky in basketball. And my believers says Tennessee. I know we're going to get different answers, but I think if you just the combined fan bases, Alabama would be the most hated simply because of their success, and a lot of people view their fans as arrogant.
Football for the last 17 years,
That's
basketball was just in the Final Four. There's a lot of hate about greatness right now.
Do you think though, when Texas enters, they become the most hated?
It's going to be easy to hate them. Yeah,
but I mean, do you think that's among all the fan bases?
It's going to take a while to get past Alabama.
No, I think all fan bases will hate them immediately.
I do too. I think Texas might supplant Alabama or Georgia or whoever.
On our social platforms, Little Tammy cut a quick video last night. I believe, to your point, Brown, I think Alabama will be most hated, but the same thing happens with Alabama. I think if Alabama's struggling on the road at College Station, I think all the SEC fan bases gather around the TV. Come on, Texas A&M, finish the gig. Or when they're losing at LSU, come on, Brian Kelly, y'all finish off Alabama. That's been the way for 17 years when Saban was there. I think there will be a lot of people in the SEC if Texas is struggling in Starkville or Gainesville or Knoxville or all the villes. They'll gather around the TV and love to watch Texas lose.
Yeah, I think they become maybe not supplant Alabama at the top, but they become a public enemy very, very quickly in this conference.
Instant villain.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
and Oklahoma probably loves that.
I think they probably do.
I mean, Oklahoma's coming in quiet.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, Oklahoma's just this nice neighbor that has moved into our neighborhood.
Folks. Howdy, folks.
We've got new neighbors, baby. Let's take them some cookies. Yes. Okay. Here you go, Coach Venables. Oh, thanks, guys.
Texas has no soliciting signs up. Right. Beware of the dog.
No
Beware of the dog. Hey, the show today being brought to you in part by our friends at A+. Man, they do a lot of work for these two guys here to my right. Tell us about A+, guys.
That kitchen done? I want to come see the new kitchen.
It's almost done. Yeah. They put new doors. So we started doing different things once they got in there.
A little
but
change
we've
order.
Got a pantry that has been expanded. They put a barn door on the pantry. A lot of cool looking stuff. Hey, but not only have we had work from Brad Bell and the great folks there, but our friend Jim from the New York Butcher Shop reached out, and they're about to start in his house.
Ooh, boy, if you do Jim's kitchen now, that's
I don't know if
high end.
I think it might be the master bathroom or maybe the master bedroom. They're doing something, though. Jim said that they're about to come out to his house.
Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom, closets. That's what A+ and Brad Bell specialize in, and that's good news for you. Because you're going to enjoy it while you own the home, and you're going to get the money back from that when you go sell it. The number, if you want to do what Lance and I have done, and Scott is showing you some before and after photos of my master bathroom and Lance's master bathroom. We'll get some before and after of the kitchen from Lance's as well later on. 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. He's the best in the business. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling, 205-422-1758.
Somebody, I can't see it, flew by so quickly. And
I'll get
we
it.
appreciate everyone in the mybookie.ag chat room. Promo code next round. It says, LT, did you buy a condemned house? I'm right about this, though. A few years ago, you made a decision that I'm not moving somewhere else. I'm going to stay here and make this house exactly the way I want it.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably put too much money into my house. So my house was built in 2007, but it is outdated. I mean, this thing, things hit quickly. So, unfortunately, I've had to do a new backyard this year, new bathroom, new kitchen. I guess that's it. Yeah.
Just a new bathroom, backyard,
and new
kitchen.
floors throughout the house. Yeah. So
but other than that, he's barely touched
throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
Is that dog related or is that just dated?
No. It's just dated.
Okay.
I had that darker hardwood.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to lighten the place up.
Okay. I can't wait to come see it. I hadn't been inside since everything started. Yeah.
So no on that, but updating. It's his home. He wants it to be the best he can. You can do that with our friends at A+. One more thing that I wanted to get off our chest here in the first segment. I am a big fan of EA Sports College Football. I'm glad it's coming back, but it's a video game, and they do not get everything right. Yesterday during the show, we never got to it, but they unveiled their home field advantage from EA Sports College Football. And I will say up front, it is one of the worst lists I have ever seen in my life. Toughest place to play in college football, according to EA Sports. Kyle Field, Texas A&M. Brown, do I misremember this? Haven't they lost since they joined the SEC a number of big games? I know they beat Alabama once.
That was in Tuscaloosa. I know they beat them there, 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's the only big game that immediately comes to mind that they won there.
Like they lost the return game, Johnny Manziel game. That was a big one for them. There was a time
Auburn beat them a couple
down
times.
there. It was a big game for both of them there. I'm just telling you that Kyle Field is a big stadium. It's a beautiful stadium.
Male cheerleaders.
It's a beautiful stadium, and it's big. It's a lot of people. It sways. The press box sways.
It looks like it would be a difficult place to play. Again, I haven't been there on television, but the results aren't there.
Nope. That's right. So not number one. Number two, nobody loves Alabama on this show more than I do.
Did we call you Jimmy Bama?
Bryant-Denny Stadium is a beautiful stadium. It is updated, much like LT's house. It has been modernized. It is a perfect.
Yeah, my house ain't Bryant-Denny.
It is a perfect college football stadium.
Maybe more at the Camp Randall of the world.
It's hard to judge Bryant-Denny Stadium's home field advantage, toughest places to play, because the team's been so dang good. Right?
Like Alabama could have played at Rickwood Field, and they're going to win most of those games, right?
They win games on the road, Brown.
I know.
They won almost as many on the road as they have at home.
And sometimes when you win like that, you lull your fans to sleep.
That's right.
And, I've heard Georgia's crowds, I haven't been to Athens in a few years, but I've heard their crowds, they kind of sit on their hands now.
They did. They got pegged with the same thing Alabama fans got pegged with.
So we've always judged, at least I think this for 15 years, our show has judged how much better do you make a team with your home field advantage. And I've always thought playing in Baton Rouge, especially at night, makes LSU a little bit better. No matter how good LSU is, a little bit better. Auburn, to me, at 14th is insane because you just look at last year. Just last year, they battled Georgia, who was probably the most talented team in the country, deep into the fourth quarter before Georgia won that game. And Alabama, who made the college football playoffs and beat Georgia, won the SEC championship, had to have a miracle 4th and 31 to win at Jordan-Hare, and that was a very average Auburn team. That's home field advantage.
Well, I don't
me.
know why. Like, if you're going to do this kind of a deep dive and you're going to put this list out, why would you not put some stats with it? Like, I think if they really would have gone back the last 10 years versus ranked teams, there is no way Auburn would not be in the top 5. I personally, and we're kind of biased because we're around it, it seems like the most difficult place to play in all of college football. But nobody, I've seen all these lists, but nobody puts anything behind it. And I would say it would be a lot of work to legwork to do that. But we see things on, this is the first cycle somebody's hitting the third inning since 1899. I mean, there's people that find these.
Somebody's
these
got the stats somewhere. Is your point? Yeah. I mean, to me, I've always thought Autzen was. I mean, it's 11. I think that's great. Neyland Stadium, 13. Now, when they've been bad, it's not great, but when it's good.
They're good. I think Neyland, 2 years ago, Neyland was in the top 5. Last year probably took a step back when they, took steps back win-wise. But I fully expect over the next couple of years, Neyland's going to be one of the most difficult places to play.
Rice Eccles at Utah is 18. I've always thought that was a tough place to play. It's small, but when Michigan State is good, I think Michigan State at home, Spartan Stadium, makes them better than their I don't know. It's just I think
what's embarrassing
it's a horrible list.
Is where Michigan is, where Nebraska isn't. I mean, it's kind of sad. Some of those really used to be. Remember how good the Orange Bowl was for?
Again, my gosh!
I think
Miami was so good.
I think a lot. It does go back to Miami had nothing but 5 stars out there, and the crowd was probably 25,000, and they were drunk and they were wild. But it seemed like, hell, they didn't lose there.
I'm trying to find the stat. I think I saw yesterday. Since joining the SEC, and would this add up? 45 games, 25 and 20. A&M is at home, so they joined in 2012. You get 4 home games a year, so that's 40. That's about right.
Yeah.
So 25 and 20
play that. Don't forget they play that neutral site game, so they lose a home game every other year to Arkansas.
They're basically a 500 team at home.
If I saw the number right, I think 25 and 20 at home in SEC games. That's in SEC games.
Yeah, but they have not been a horrible team. You know what I mean?
Not
like
horrible.
Auburn has had some.
Yeah.
So it's going to impact their stats. They've been good. They've been bad, good and bad. But just go back to last year. You go into Auburn and you're Georgia and Alabama, 2 of the best teams in the country. 2 of the best rosters in the country. I think they were the 2 best rosters by recruiting people in the country last year. They went in there and they had to fight to get out with 2 dubs. That's home field advantage.
I go to the Iron Bowl every year. I haven't missed Iron Bowl in quite a while. Well, I missed the COVID Iron Bowl, but other than that, I haven't missed one in quite a while.
Yeah. Before that, it was the Brody sack.
That was the last one I missed.
Yep.
And I did that because Ohio State, Michigan. So take away my state of Alabama citizenship, if you like. I have seen many Iron Bowls in Auburn where Alabama is obviously the better team and the greatest coach that has ever done it is on their sideline. And those teams have been shook by the crowd. I've seen it many times. Not just like, I can point to that one game. I'm like, almost every time they go down there. Probably every time they go down there. Now, sometimes they're just so much better than Auburn that they're able to overcome that and pull away. But I have seen time and time again with the greatest coach that has ever done it, Alabama get shook on the sidelines at Jordan-Hare. I mean, I don't know what more I could say about a stadium than that.
Did
right
Auburn
there.
not wear Georgia out the year that Georgia got the revenge in the SEC championship game?
We kicked the dog crap out of them. That's what Gus said at midfield, remember?
I mean, that was right. That was an ass whipping, and that was a really good Georgia team.
The running back ran it down their throat that ended up
getting hurt.
Tyrion Johnson,
before the championship game. Hemp Hill brings you part of the show today. It brings you Lance's Lock, lanceslock.com. You can go check that out.
A little 4-2 last night, 8-3 on the week.
4-2?
Yeah.
4-1 the night before that?
Yep. Jump on board, lanceslock.com, but trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
All right, so when we come back, we'll unveil our team today in our 40 and 40 countdown, brought to you by MyBookie. Over in the MyBookie chat room, Greg from Pell City. Never been a significant underdog, hurts Alabama at home. For example, the Florida game when Prothro got hurt, Brian Denny was electric. Unbelievable loud. That was a special home game, Greg, you're right. Oklahoma, when they came in number 1, I think that was the Shula years, came in number 1.
Yeah, it was Shula's first year.
Yeah, it's a big game in Tuscaloosa. It is good, and it's better than it used to be. But I don't think it's number 2 in the country. But I know they win a lot of home games because their teams are always so dang good. When we come back, our 40 and 40 team today and some more college football right here on the Next Round, being brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Back with you on the next round. Pretty amazing. I don't know about you guys. The capitalism, the way we create some things. Like, didn't we always say was Valentine's? That was a created holiday, right?
Oh yeah, manufactured.
Yeah.
Hallmark.
Well, I think a lot of them are, though. I mean, Mother's Day is, Father's Day is.
Well, there's a holiday every day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason there's a Margarita Day, right?
Yeah, I mean, now there's some that are created by, like Veterans Day or things like that. I mean, there's obviously a need, Memorial Day, a need to do that, but most of it's just money.
But I would say, though, Valentine's Day, although it was manufactured, these new ones that have come around, these are Johnny-come-latelys.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day would be in the top 15, 20 of
holidays.
Like, no, I'm just, like, not my favorite. I'm just talking about, like, ones that are recognized, ones that have been around forever, right?
I guess so,
think
yeah.
top 15, top 20?
Probably, yeah.
Amazon Prime Day is coming up in July. All this is basically Black Friday sales, and they've created a new one in July.
Yeah, this is a way for Amazon just to make a ton of money in one day.
Yeah.
And you think you're getting a good deal, and maybe you are on some stuff.
No, I think if you create that day, I think it will stick, and it'll be much like Black Friday. It'll be a reason for people to spend money and get the economy going in the middle of the summer.
I believe my wife has celebrated Prime Day before.
Yeah, in the house, my household too. July 16th and 17th, Amazon Prime Day is happening again this year.
I think I bought this iPad on Prime Day. I think my wife told me there was a good deal on it, and I needed a new iPad, so I got this iPad. Actually, I think I've celebrated Prime Day.
And you had a really good idea for your daughter she's got a out-of-season birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, so both of my kids are summer, so don't have to do this.
So my youngest daughter was born December 20th. Well, try getting kids together for a party on December 20th. Not happening, right? School's out, people are traveling, Christmas parties and all that. So we let her celebrate her birthday, her half birthday, in June. And so she did her half birthday this past weekend, and far more fun. All their friends come over. We rented an huge inflatable water slide, and they just did the water slide all day.
I'm sure you guys make it great for her for both birthday and Christmas, but that's too close, you know?
It is, and that's one reason we did that. So.
17th for me in December, daughter's 18th.
Yep.
It's
we
tough.
do the half birthday, and it's better. I mean, it's a more fun party, more kids are there. She doesn't care.
Never like it when it's, hey, this is your birthday and your Christmas gift.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, what?
And that's how we avoid that.
Yeah. Inverness Country Club. You can get a great deal right now and become a member there. Why would you want to be a member at Inverness Country Club? LT has not one, not two, but several reasons why.
Yeah, look, they've got memberships that are going to fit everyone at Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They've got that social membership, including the resort-style pool, golf with a beautiful course, currently expanding the driving range. Do you travel for work or pleasure? Ask about the Heritage Plus option, where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Inverness Country Club, great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated to retired. Inverness, a great place to network. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the court or the course. Whatever your interest is, you can find it at Inverness. Best days happen there. Take a tour today. Call Aaron today at Inverness Country Club. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or ICCalabama.com.
Unlimited coaches. The NCAA changed some rules yesterday. The analysts can now coach during practices and during games, so you don't have to, Photoshop your rival having so many coaches in the box with headsets on or any of that. It's unlimited now. However many coaches you want, you can have. So no problem at all.
Yeah, no problem. It's the same for everybody. As long as the rules are the same for everybody, I don't really care.
And less rules are always better. Here's another one. I can't believe it took this long, but each school had their own drug testing that they did. But at NCAA championship events, certain players were pulled out, and they had to go to testing by the NCAA. No longer a banned substance is cannabis.
It's legal in so many states. I don't know how you can. How many states is it now? 30?
38?
Is it 38?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it goes up every day. I mean, we'll be the last that will legalize it.
But I mean, it's more than 30, less than 40?
I don't know. Like, I've always heard the NBA never tested for it.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know how any league can test for it. I don't, it's tough, like jobs. I've heard people before say that, I'm going to Vegas this weekend. I'd love to smoke a joint, but if I come back and get drug tested, it's going to become a point where, you're probably going to have to do this in all workforces.
Yeah, I mean, it's legal to use.
I mean, I take that back. There's certain first responders, things like that.
Yeah. It's legal to use in a lot of the states where they're playing these events. And I don't think there's anybody alive that will call it performance enhancing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The NCAA used the wording saying we are only testing for performance enhancing drugs, and everyone tells us
for golfers.
I told the story the other day about a buddy of mine that was his best after he smoked a little weed on the course. And I mean, I don't know how you do that, because you can't say it's performance enhancing for everyone. Like, I'm sure if I
my dad's a better bowler after a few Bud Heavies.
We talked about the beer window. Somebody texted me 5:55 this morning. Must have been listening to the podcast. Like, ask so and so about my beer window. He saw it the other day.
Yeah, but there's certain sports like those are, you can consider them sports or more activities. Like, when I watched Sam Perkins play, the late North Carolina great, became, a big that started to shoot a lot of threes in his career. He looked stoned all the time. I don't know whether he was or not.
Maybe just his look.
But I was just going to be impressed that somebody could play at an NBA level at his level and be stoned. Now, whether he was or not, I don't know. But I know you can do it bowling. You can do it throwing darts, that kind of stuff.
Old boy Doc Ellis would say...
Yeah, LSD.
LSD was apparently performance enhancing for him, right? He was good on it.
Yeah, I think somebody was telling me about a Darryl Strawberry. He's a motivational speaker now, but him and Doc Gooden were both doing. I'm sure a lot of guys have done coke and played.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's now not a worry at NCAA schools either anymore. Time now for our 40 and 40 team. We're to number 11 in our mybookie.ag countdown to kickoff. We've got one team every show all the way up to SEC Media Days. We do this every year. We're to number 11, Browning.
MyBookie.ag, code next round. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. We're about to talk about a team. We'll run through that schedule. Lance loves to tell you how many games they'll be favored in, and he's right a vast majority of the time. Are there underdogs? Doesn't really matter. You can play those games when the season rolls around at MyBookie.ag. Code next round gets you that sign-on bonus at MyBookie.ag. They've also got a revamped VIP and loyalty program for you. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Jim, I cannot wait to see who we got next.
I wonder who it could be. Oh, the sun has found its place in the western sky. It's officially nighttime in Tiger Stadium. Number 11, LSU, replacing the Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Not always easy, but they've got a plan.
People so disappointed in Brian Kelly. He's won 10 games in back-to-back years. I mean, how many times can you win 10 games back-to-back years in the SEC, go to an SEC championship, have the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and people look at it as a disappointment? That's what you've got right now. Good news, bad news. The good news is you got a new defense coordinator, and Blake Baker can't be any worse.
That's what I was about to say. There's only one way for that to go, right?
Yeah, they gave up right at 28 points per game last year, which is unheard of for an LSU defense. But the bad news is Mike Denbrock goes back with Marcus Freeman to Notre Dame, and this is an offense that averaged almost 46 points per game and over 543 yards per game. And you lose electrifying players in Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Jaden Daniels.
It feels a little bit like, just a little bit, and we'll see if it feels more and more like this season goes, after the national championship year when you lost your Heisman winning quarterback, electrifying receivers, and Joe Brady. Joe Brady went to the NFL. He went with Matt Rule to Charlotte. It feels a little bit like that,
I would
doesn't
go
it?
more of the feel of Garrett Nussmeier might be the next T. Martin.
Ooh, after Peyton Manning wins the national championship.
You lose a great quarterback, and then this team sneaks up. Now, before I get labeled as
LSU
Utah,
Lance.
LSU, all this stuff, I think LSU is going to be not even sneaky good. I think LSU is going to be a top 15 team. And I think based on Brian Kelly's history, I think they're going to be right there with 10 wins again. And what does 10 wins do for you in the SEC?
Get you into playoffs.
Yeah, they should.
How's the schedule?
Well,
here it is.
It's got 2 games against USC and UCLA. It's like they're playing for the California State Championship. That's weird in and of itself.
Yeah, LSU Pac-12 after dark.
Yes.
They are favored in 10 games this year.
Yeah, Lance going to give you 10 games they're favored. I agree. If they don't start by their bye week at 5-0, something has gone terribly wrong. I don't see any way that they're not 5-0, but it does get a little more interesting after that. The old school Magnolia Bowl probably has more pop in it than just about any time over recent years. Lane Kiffin has made that a decent rivalry again.
Yeah, look, and if you like track meets, last year's game was amazing. It was after the Georgia-Auburn game. It was that night, and it was just back and forth, complete track meet. That game was around a pick. LSU will be favored at home against Ole Miss this year. They're going to be favored on the road against Arkansas. I think the only two spots they could be dogs would be at A&M possibly, and then Alabama at home. But they might be favored in both those games. There is a chance that LSU, depending on how they're playing in September, could be favored in all 12 games this season.
I do like one thing on the schedule. I do like, Jim. LSU has never had the rivalry Saturday rival. They tried to make it Black Friday Arkansas, and there were some upsets in there, but it didn't feel rivalry. I like the fact that they're trying to make Oklahoma Texas a good rivalry Saturday game. Or excuse me, Oklahoma LSU. I'm sorry, Oklahoma LSU, a good rivalry Saturday game.
I've got a whole topic on that later in the week.
I'll leave my thoughts then.
Not today, but later in the week. We're packed today. But that is the LSU are trying to find that perfect fit for them.
I think they've done it.
Yeah, I thought A&M was going to be a good one, and now this may be the perfect fit for them. That schedule, man, looks doable. We've got LSU at number 11. I like where they are, right on the cusp now. All the teams we're going to show you are going to be playoff caliber teams the rest of the way. LSU is there, and Brian Kelly is a guy we believe in a lot. Schedule looks good. Brian Kelly enters 2024 with 304 all-time career wins.
Yeah, and I'll just say this about Garrett Nussmeier. Somebody in the mybookie.ag said I need to get my eyes checked. Look, we didn't know anything about T. Martin. All I'm saying is Nussmeier has paid his dues. That's a guy I am pulling for based on the fact that he didn't do what everybody else does.
Right.
I'm not playing. I'm going to transfer out. And let's just go back. I mean, one of the best quarterbacks that Brian Kelly had at Notre Dame was Tommy Rees. I mean, he didn't have a lot of great quarterbacks. I think Nussmeier could be as good as any of his Notre Dame quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree. Brian Kelly is a good coach. Last year was maybe his most embarrassing year as a coach, to have what he had on offense and allow his defense to be that bad. It's an indictment on the head coach. I mean, Lincoln Riley has to wear it for what he's done, and Brian Kelly should wear it last year, and he's got to prove this year that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, the only difference is that Brian Kelly has showed you in the past he can make it to a championship game.
That is correct.
With a great defense like he did at Notre Dame
he's
in
done
2012.
it, so I do believe him.
Lincoln Riley has never done that to date. LSU at 11, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag.
I mean, Lance just told you LSU could be favorites of 12 games. You can play all those games right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on. Get that great sign-on bonus. Use it right away. Start winning at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag. Code next round.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to do our 4 downs today. We've got that coming up. And still to come, we've got the biggest drops we expect in win totals this year. 5 teams from each of us that we think sort of fall off a cliff. Yesterday we gave you 5 risers that were going to take the biggest jump in college football. Little T has a graphic that she sends out from our social media on that. One note about television ratings before we go to break here. Sunday afternoons, Fever Sky WNBA game drew 2.3 million viewers. But as expected, Brownie, the College World Series did very well. The most watched baseball game this year was Monday night's College World Series game, coming in at 3.4 million.
That's MLB or college?
That is the most watched baseball game.
That is crazy.
The closest baseball game to that most watched was Dodgers-Yankees, 2.91.
I'm not surprised. Forster and I, interestingly, were talking about Major League Baseball extra innings package when we were walking to the bathroom a minute ago. And I didn't get this first year I haven't had it.
Yeah.
And Monday night was the first college baseball I have watched first pitch to last pitch this year.
Yeah,
I've sampled a lot, but that's the first game in college baseball this year that I've watched every day.
That's wild, though, for them to be the most watched game of the year, period. That's crazy.
Clay said it yesterday. I mean, this is a growing sport.
It is.
Yep. But a good night for the Stanley Cup. 7.7 million. The most watched, I don't know what this means, most watched non-original 6 matchup.
A lot of qualifications there.
Ever on ESPN.
Yeah.
7.7.
You give a game 7, most sports fans are going to sample it at least, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch a ton of hockey, but knowing there was a game 7 and the cup was going to be lifted, I made sure I was there for the end.
All right. When we come back, our 4 downs today and a lot more. Show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse. I went up, had a steak, and saw the Woodhouse yesterday. I was like, oh, there's Woodhouse Steak Spa over there tucked into the corner. What a great location at the Summit.
Yeah, and they've actually expanded it. It's awesome. Like we were talking about bachelorette parties yesterday. If you've got one of these bachelorette parties, you can actually go to the spa. They've got like a huge room you can rent out. But the Woodhouse Day Spa, located right there at Summit Shopping Center, is right off of Highway 280. They've got a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that gift online. They can have it delivered to you. They email it to you. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Or stop in, see Stuart and that great staff. Tell them the Next Round sent you.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. Well, we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Back with you on the Next Round. We do appreciate all the pictures you guys send in. If you watch us on the video platform, you see those running during the commercial breaks. Love seeing the gear, the stickers, and everything from your summer outings. Our buddy, the Strong family, they were up in, they were traveling baseball, and one team group picture popped up, and one of the kids had on his Next Round t-shirt.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if they were in Cooperstown playing a tournament or what, but it's always good to see the gear out and about. And we appreciate that you buying nextround.store, and supporting the show. You guys wanted to see it, so Little T went back to get it. Nick Saban's comment with the Dolphins before he came and took the coach to be the coach at Alabama. Last I checked, Dolphins and Alabama are not rivals. They don't even play the same sport. One's the NFL, one's college, but here you go.
I have to say it. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. What? I shouldn't even have to comment on this. I think I've said this over and over and over again.
Boy, he looked young there. How young was he?
How many days after was it when he took it?
It was almost a month.
That was December 21st, 2006.
So the only thing that I would say on that, and I'm not backing Saban at all, but at that point, I don't think he believed he was taking the job.
He may not have, but again, coaches have done that forever. Tommy Tuberville did it before he came to Auburn. I'll leave Oxford to Pine Box, and he left Oxford in a car to Auburn.
Sloss had already left, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not wound up about a coach saying I'm not leaving a job and then leaving a job. It happens all the time.
Oh, I'm more
coach
pissed
after
off
coach after coach has done it.
More pissed off at Texas than I am Texas A&M and Schloss.
Well,
and undressing the reporter that asked the question.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And then really accelerating or exaggerating the lie.
Give me the Kendall Rogers tweet again, Forrester, if you can. The guy that covers D1 baseball for a company, I think it's called D1 Baseball, but it's really good. Kendall tweeted, "One interesting note is that I was told by multiple sources today that this deal, at least at the highest level, was done between A&M series with Georgia and before the regional round. It's truly a fascinating search hire to unpack. I'll have more," says Kendall Rogers there. So they waited until National Championship Monday to fire their coach and then hired the guy who ended up losing 6-5 in that game.
Yeah, I guarantee you, Brown, real quick, if A&M, well, and it would have been timely, but I was just going to say, if A&M goes out in the Super Regional, Texas fires their coach immediately. It's almost like, hey, we're going to go until A&M goes, and if they somehow strike gold, we'll make that announcement.
I just don't get as upset about it being Texas as you do. Like, Texas can be a villain, but Texas is just doing what's best for Texas. They can't worry about Texas A&M. What are they supposed to do? I mean, they're probably, to Lance's point.
No, there's nothing wrong with Texas trying to hire him. The only problem I had was firing your coach the day of to get that speculation going.
And people are saying that the guy was already fired. He leaked it out day of to put Texas in a bad spot. I don't know if that's the case. You know, that'll be a he said, she said. Yeah. If Texas did indeed do that, that's a bad look. But I also understand Texas A&M haven't lost any love, and Texas was not going to worry about A&M's feelings in this deal. Yeah. Now, maybe Texas.
I think Alabama, that leaked out that Dennis Franchione was going to be the coach at Alabama the day Auburn was playing in an SEC championship game. But I'm just going to tell you, that didn't move a lot of the needle for me. I was at an Auburn SEC championship game, and I was like, who's Dennis Franchione? How do I say this?
Yeah, and Alabama wasn't stealing away Auburn's coach. I mean, that would have been the difference there. Yeah.
So, 4 Downs brought to you by our great friends at Slice. Great place for lunch, dinner. You were talking about kids' parties, Brown. Great thing for parties. We were at the beach. Not that they had a Slice where we were, but somebody had 4 pizzas delivered to their chairs right at the beach.
Oh, wow.
The sand gets in
your... That's one heck of a tip for that guy.
I know, but he's walking with 4 pizzas out in the sand, and I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't matter how small the wind is blowing. You try to eat anything on the beach, you've got sand in it. That's a waste of good pizza. Good pizza, not great pizza. That's what you get at Slice.
Yes, Slice, 5 locations, the original Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, the newest location in Edgewood. Get and see the Bajalia Brothers, local pizza, local ingredients, from the Hot Mama to the Bajalia Special. You're going to absolutely love it. It is Slice.
First down.
More total touchdowns this year, Jalen Milroe or Garrett Nussmeier?
Oh, I'd go Jalen Milroe.
Quick answer from
Jalen Milroe. I think Alabama's offense is going to be, good again, and Milroe is going to run a lot in. My vision is he runs more in than Nussmeier. Maybe I'm just going black quarterback, white quarterback, like people have done for ages. But Milroe's the more mobile quarterback.
I think that is definitely fair. I mean, look, if you and Denbrock is now going back to Notre Dame, so the offense might be a little bit different. You lose Neighbors, you lose Thomas. You lose Jaden Daniels, but that offense last year was unstoppable.
Yeah,
I think it's closer than you think. I would lean Milroe as well.
I'm going to go Milroe,
yeah. I'm gonna say Milroe as well. I believe the film I'm seeing, that he's worked so much on his intermediate throws, and I love the offense that they bring from Washington for him. So.
Oh, I thought Milroe was fantastic second half of the season, or even before that.
Second down.
Who wins a college football playoff game first? Brian Kelly or Lane Kiffin?
I might go Lane Kiffin. Like, this whole who wins a playoff game first is almost
I know because of the buys.
I know
it
it's
gets a
so
little bit
weird
different.
because of the buys. It kind of makes it weird. Like, I don't think LSU's getting the bye this year. I'm just saying.
Well, and I don't think Ole Miss is getting the bye.
No. But I think that actually helps Ole Miss. Like, I could see Ole Miss playing, at a Big Ten team or hosting a Big Ten team that is maybe the third or fourth best Big Ten team. And I would like Ole Miss in that situation, so I'll go Ole Miss.
I'm going to go LSU.
Yeah, I'm going to go LSU. Just
either one could do it.
We've seen LSU. Brian Kelly's a much more accomplished coach than Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. Some of this probably depends on who you think of those two makes the playoff this year, because this one gets settled this year probably.
And that's it. I mean, I know what Ole Miss is on paper, what they're supposed to be on paper, and the expectations. But I think there is LSU legitimately has the players there, and I've seen LSU in the playoffs. I haven't seen Ole Miss in the playoffs. Until I see it, I'm going to believe LSU gets there first.
Third down.
Michael Vick, 44 years old.
Hard to believe.
Up until this point, better career, Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick?
That's hard to say, LT, because I think Lamar Jackson is going to be my answer. But Michael Vick, I don't think had the same organization around him that the Ravens, that Lamar has. That's an organization that drafts well, handles free agency well. They put a lot of talent on the field.
Vic could be really good right now.
Oh, boy. He was so fun to watch in Atlanta. And imagine him in today's game.
I mean, he took that franchise and packed the dome. I mean, it was his city for a short period of time.
Game away from a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
First.
And that's the thing with Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson had already won a Super Bowl, I wouldn't have asked the question. But, he has really struggled in the postseason. Not that Michael Vick won a championship, but I think up until this point, he's had almost as much postseason success.
Weren't they the first team to beat Green Bay?
Yeah.
In Green Bay in a playoff
Saturday
game?
night, freezing cold. It was in the
Yep.
divisional round. That's what put them matched up with
who did they play?
The Philadelphia Eagles
against the
Donovan
Eagles?
McNabb.
Yeah.
Nobody thought the Falcons could win that game because Southern team playing
Southern Dome team playing it. Yeah,
the frozen tundra, and he did it. So I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. But Michael Vick was a heck of a player.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Heisman is. I mean, what's bigger, that Mike Vick had Virginia Tech playing for a national championship, or Lamar Jackson won a Heisman?
I would go Mike Vick playing for the national championship.
I think that is more impressive. I would lean Lamar Jackson.
I think I go Vick here. Yeah.
Was the first time we saw Lamar Jackson, in my head, the first time I saw Lamar Jackson was
against Auburn.
In Atlanta, right?
Yeah, they brought him in.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Derek Jeter, 50. Ariana Grande, 31.
She's 31 already?
Ultimately better career. I know everybody's going to say Jeter landslide, but Ariana's got a lot left out there.
She does. Ultimately better career, makes it more difficult. I'm still going to go Jeter.
And I think Ariana, I don't know how much this matters to anybody, but I can't even imagine what you could do in monetizing this. But I think she's got the most Instagram followers in the world, right?
Let me check that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's got a lot. I don't know if
she's got more than we've got the population of America.
What does she do on Instagram?
I have no idea.
Well, let's find out.
All right.
I've been told that Ronaldo has the most.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Oh, you look up Ariana, Jim. I know I'm twisting your arm here. I'll look up Ronaldo.
Yeah, I'll go on and tell you guys. You guys are doing that.
378 million followers.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane.
She's following 748 people. I am not one of them.
So the 378 million, that shows you how many fans she's got to get around the world. So it shows you how many records
she's dressed like Batgirl in a video. It was her latest story. Then she's animating holding Saturn in a story.
I've never seen somebody's skin color change as much. Like she's
Michael
been
Jackson?
pale white.
Yeah.
Well,
Michael
Michael Jackson. But she's been pale white. She's been dark. She's been orange. Like, it's very strange.
Do I not know how to spell Ronaldo? How do I spell? I can't find it.
Ronaldo.
I use the E.
The old E, Brownie.
I do not know how to spell Ronaldo.
She poses. She has a lot to pictures.
Now, how many she got? Cristiano Ronaldo has got 632
No, he
million.
doesn't. He's got the world.
He's got almost the world. 632 million.
That's double.
That's almost everybody that's on Instagram.
And it's nothing but like team photos.
I would love to know how many people are actually on Instagram.
I know. All of them follow Ronaldo.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have 1 billion people on Instagram, do we? Maybe we do.
I don't know.
I don't know. To tell you.
I mean, how many billion do we have in the world right now?
8.5.
But just, I mean, Taylor Swift's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And her fans are crazy. She's only got 283 million. Ariana's got 373 million.
I mean,
she's almost got 100 million more than Taylor Swift.
What do they pay for a post? $1 million a post?
Oh, I don't know.
But does Ronaldo win a lot?
Used to.
I mean, he's getting older, but
is he?
They know he's not, I don't think he's ever won a World Cup.
Has he not?
No. Well, Messi just finally won his first.
Well, I'm just looking at him on Instagram. This guy's got the world by the tail.
Well,
man.
he's Mr. Good Looking too.
Yeah, boy,
he's got that amazing soccer body.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler. $2.4 billion. So, I mean, Ronaldo's got a fourth of them.
Yeah, a fourth of Instagram's users follow Ronaldo. That's
It's like when you sign up for Instagram, you get that free. Here's a free Ronaldo follow.
Yeah, it was like back in, what was the guy on MySpace, Tom?
Tom.
Yeah, when you sign up for
your first friend.
MySpace, you start with Tom and then you work out from there.
I really think that he could sell his Instagram if they would have somebody that could control it, not knowing that Ronaldo didn't sell it. The people, the algorithms that you could control. I mean, that thing, what is it worth?
Who knows?
Hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah, but sadly, he's not hurting financially.
No, I think he's all right.
Yeah, that's Four Downs, brought to you by Slice.
Yeah, stop in. Local pizza, local ingredients. You're going to love it. Get a slice and a salad today, lunch, or dinner. Stop at one of those 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
You know what Ronaldo doesn't like, Rockstar? That itchy shirt.
Oh, no.
That guy, he shows that body off now.
He is TAN.
Buddy, he is. And he likes you to see that six-pack.
Jacob Hester coming up at 10:45. Chris Jans is on the show today.
Chris Jans, Mississippi State basketball coach.
Chris Jans is on this show coming up at 11:45 today. We'll talk some basketball with Chris Jans. That'll be interesting. Can't wait to do that. When we come back, our biggest droppers in college football. We've each got 5 teams that are going to have the floor fall out from their win total last year to this year. Find out if your team is on that list. 59 days away from week 0. The show being brought to you by Dr. B, the guy who is trying to salvage Brown's hair.
Get in and see Dr. B today. I have people ask me about Dr. Beckstein all the time. I tell the story. When I started to thin out, he is the guy that I reached out to. 205-319-0316. Dr. B pioneered the use of NeoGraft hair restoration in Alabama, remains at the forefront of hair preservation in the Southeast. He takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce quality results. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. I'm doing that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. Brown is doing it as well. My hair has more than doubled in thickness over the last couple of years. 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, we'll get away from sports in the next segment. Our intern, Anne-Marie from Clemson, will jump in and do a this or that with us. And then Jacob Hester back with us to talk college football at 10:45. TJ Saint, the head coach of the Birmingham Squadron, will be with us at 11. We'll talk about the NBA draft tonight. Zach Edey, Mark Sears' future in the draft, Janai Broom's future in the draft, the big trade that went down with the Knicks, all the NBA news that's out there with him coming up at 11 o'clock. It's a big night in the NBA. A little college football, though, is going to start us off this hour, brought to you by our friends at A+.
A+ Style Home Remodeling. Again, that's who redid the master bathroom in my house, the master bathroom in Lance's house, and now the kitchen in Lance's house. When it came time to do our master bath, my wife scoured the internet looking for the best person. She talked to many contractors. She talked to people that had used certain contractors. She read a bunch of reviews. She put it all together, and she said, you know what? I think Brad Bell's the guy to use. I'm glad that's who she picked because he did tremendous work. Here's what he specializes in: master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. It's where you're going to enjoy your house the most, and it's where you're going to get your money back when you go to sell your house. If you want to spare the time that Jennifer Brown spent scouring the internet, you can just take my word for it and Lance's word for it and call Brad Bell now. 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
All right, so yesterday we talked about 5 teams that we thought were going to have a big bump in their win total. I think Brown was the only one that had one going +4.
Yeah, Nebraska.
A 3-win jump is pretty good. A 3-win difference, fewer wins is a big fall. I've got one going bigger than that. I'm going to guess that we've all got one exactly the same.
I bet we have a lot the same. By the way, I need my Sharpie over there, Brown.
Black.
I've got mine written down here. But
this was to me harder to do than the jumps. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be easier. I thought
it was not for me.
It was going to be easier for me, Brown, because of the one I think we'll all have on the list.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this: I always wonder if we end up tying ourselves in knots, contradicting like where we have teams ranked in our 40 and 40, and then we do an exercise like this. I know I contradict myself at some point.
Well,
probably many times.
40 and 40 is done by 94 people.
Well, I know, but I vote too, and at some point, y'all are going to show my vote, and somebody's going to say, "Wait a minute, Brown, you had that team. Drop it 3 games. You got them number 5 in the country." Oh, yeah.
What are y'all's combined drop between the 5?
3, 6, 9, 12, 14.
I've got a 5, 3, 3, 4, and 3.
5? It is hard to drop 5 games.
Not for one team.
I got a 23 game drop between my 5. And I feel pretty good about it.
Now, wait a minute. Lance, hang on. I just glanced at Lance's. He used postseason and everything.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, I was just going with the 12 regular season, but I understand what you're saying.
No.
I mean, it's going to be a drop.
It's going to be a drop, but yeah, postseason's going to change this for me.
Well, you can keep it. I would keep it at 12, but he can say 12 and then do postseason.
I can start this out.
Yeah, do it.
A lot of college football playoff flavor from last year, but Florida State, who didn't get in, I think they go 13-9. I think the schedule's more difficult. And I know a lot of people out there believe they've still got the most talented roster in the ACC. I just want to see it back-to-back years from Mike Norvell. Like, I think they're definitely dropping in quarterback from Jordan Travis to DJ. And if he can, like, we're used to seeing Alabama and Georgia and back in the Pete Carroll days, those teams reloading immediately when they lose 6 or 7 studs to the NFL, which Florida State did this year. I just want to see it, and then I'll believe it. But I think Florida State drops to 9 games.
Yeah, but even if you go 12-9, that's still a big drop. That's 3, yes.
Michigan, let's say that they go 12-9, minus 3, if we didn't include. But, I mean, it's going to be a significant drop. Washington, again, if you drop them from 12 to 7, which I think they're going to have the biggest drop, then UCLA, just don't think Deshaun Foster's got a lot to work with. They had 8 wins last year, which is kind of amazing when you look at it.
I missed UCLA. That's
and
a good
really, really tough Pac-12. I've got them dropping from 8 to 4. And then Missouri, there's so much hype surrounding Missouri. Love to see them play well. Don't love Eli Drinkwitz, but respect him as a coach. But I think they drop.
Them and Ole Miss so pumped up this year. Washington was the one I thought we'd all have.
Nope, don't have Washington.
I
thought
have
you were
Washington.
saying Michigan because I've got Michigan.
Okay.
And if I can consider their postseason, I've only got them dropping 5. Lance has them dropping 7, 6. I got them down to a 10-win team.
But if you 10 wins, so you got them dropping 2.
Yeah, I've got them at 9.
Yeah.
If you go 12-10.
Yeah. Iowa, I think we'll drop 3 games.
See, I think Iowa's going to be better this year.
They were 10-win team.
I was going to say, I don't know if the record's going to be as good, but their offense has got to be better, and their defense is going to be really, really good again.
Arizona, going to the Big 12, I think we'll drop 3.
Okay, now there's where you got a little contradiction because yesterday you were talking about Arizona staying together, Noah Fafita back.
No, I was just making the point that they were staying together and the coach left.
Yeah.
That's the only point I was making. I don't know if they're going to be any good or not. I'm just saying it's funny that the coach was hammering the drum about this team staying together to win a championship, and then he left. UCLA, I think, will drop 3 going to the Big Ten. And then Oklahoma, just a slight step backwards. They were a 10-win team last year when you consider it all. I think they'll take a bit of a step back in the SEC, 2 games back.
I'm with LT. Washington, 12-7. And that's about what you have, too, in the regular season.
I got 7,
A 5-point drop. Oklahoma, for me, just because the schedule's so tough, 9-6. Iowa, 10-7. I think problem with Iowa is that they're
I don't think their schedule is that difficult.
They don't flip it around?
I'm gonna pull it right now.
I just thought they would get 1 or 2 tougher games than they normally get. Northwestern, that interim coach last year did a heck of a job.
Yeah, David Braun.
Yeah, 8-4 for me, so that's a 4-point drop. And then Louisville, Jeff Brom, a good coach, but he won 10 regular season games last year. And I got him going down to 7 in an improving ACC. So a 3-point drop for me. Washington, Oklahoma, Iowa, Northwestern, and Louisville.
The new expansion for Iowa does nothing to hurt their schedule.
It does not?
No, they've got, because first of all, out of conference, if you get by Iowa State and the Cyhawk, you're sweeping that.
Should be.
But the news that they're welcoming, they've got Washington at home. They're going to be favored in that game. And they go to UCLA. I think they'll be favored in that game. Then they've got really their only really difficult game in conference is at Ohio State. Let's just give them a loss there. I think they're favored in 9 or 10 games. And again, the offense is going to be better.
So there they are.
Cannot be worse. You're right about that.
They could almost match. So those are my 5 and their 5. And that's our big droppers this year. And Little T will throw that into a graphic and you pair those up, the big movers up and down. Blame my believer, Oklahoma was 10-2 last year, Dunaway. Were they 10 in the regular season? I thought they were 9-3.
I thought they were 10-2 and then lost the bowl game.
Yeah, so I apologize for that.
I think Jackson Arnold started the bowl game, but he turned it over 4 times.
Yeah,
I think they lost that game.
So that they are either I still have them going 9-6 or 10-6, whatever they were. I thought they were 9-3 in the regular season, but I may be wrong about that.
No, they lost the bowl game to Arizona. 38-24. So, yeah, their only 2 losses were at Kansas and at Oak State back-to-back weeks. Other than that.
Didn't they lose to Texas?
No, they beat Texas last year. 34-30.
They beat Texas last year?
Oh, yeah.
That's where that's the miscount I got, my believer. Thank you very much for that.
Texas only lost until the playoffs.
Hey, speaking of Texas, if we get back into the Sloss situation,
okay,
just looking at David Pierce, the coach that was fired. I mean, he shouldn't have been fired. Like, I don't know what was going on internally, but outside of COVID, so he gets hired in 17, regional, then College World Series, then COVID, College World Series, Super Regional last year, and then Regional this year.
No, they
got fired.
They 100% knew they got hired. They wanted this guy more. They wanted Schlossnagle more. They clearly ran it up the flagpole with Schlossnagle, and he's like, I am all in.
Yeah,
I got to get done here first.
Zero loyalty there.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does, but I mean,
if they're better, they're better. And look, they can. I don't really think Chris Del Conte really cares what anybody else thinks.
No, I'm 100% certain he doesn't.
One more thing to tell you about in this segment before we get to our this or that coming up, non-sports in the next segment. Brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports and Orthopedics. Don't forget the orthopedic part of this. Some of you deal with back pain and leg pain, hip pain all the time. Just take a visit to see if you can ease your pain with our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. But of course, if you tweak something, pull something, break something playing pickleball or pick up basketball or on the golf course, Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics can help you out. Great locations from Jasper to Alabaster and all over the Birmingham metro area. Part of that great Brookwood Baptist Health family. 205-512-3885. 205-512-3885. precisionsportsortho.com/2024. precisionsportsortho.com/2024. They diagnose, treat, and then help you through the rehab process all in one place. Orthopedic care better together with precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Alabama recruiting going on in football. They've had a pretty good run with Kalen DeBoer. And if you're reading the tea leaves, Steve Wilfong and Chad Simmons for different services believe that Alabama is in the process now crystal ball favorites on 3 more 5-star athletes.
Well, they can't be from the South because that's where Kalen DeBoer can't recruit.
Well, 5-star wide receiver Caleb Williams, who's down to 6 schools. That also includes Auburn. For Caleb Williams. Where's Caleb Williams from, Brown?
USC. He played at USC just now.
Okay.
I don't know, Jim. I'm not a recruiting expert.
I thought you yesterday. I thought you ran through where all these kids were from.
Well, I gave you the name. I gave you the states. You were writing them down.
5-star cornerback Dijon Lee is right now in Alabama crystal ball. 5-star offensive tackle Ty Haywood is a Alabama crystal ball, according to Steve Wilfong and Chad Simmons. And I was talking to Little T before the show. She is of belief that the services are now starting to point for Juju Smith and a couple other kids from Carrollton being Auburn-bound down the road here.
Yeah, Juju looked like he was 100% USC. Well, you're talking about a team that has a lot of – it's very volatile when it comes to what's going on with Lincoln Riley.
You know who's bleeding and recruiting is USC.
Oh, well, they get guys that give the verbal.
Yeah.
And then when it gets push gets to shove, yeah.
Haywood is from Denton, Texas. Do you consider that the South? Does Caleb DeBoer get credit for recruiting in the South if it's Denton, Texas?
You got to recruit. You got to have a banjo in the band, and you got to be able to recruit Texas.
I was going to say it's in the SEC now.
That's true. Lance makes a good point. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to rank that. I don't know how we're going to rank it.
I think you do because it's in the footprint of the. If it's in the footprint of the SEC, not that you're going to pluck a lot out of Missouri.
Yeah.
But I think you got to go with it.
Dijon Lee, Mission Viejo, California. Nobody got to. I'm going to make that argument, right?
No. Southern California, though.
Southern California. Who was the other one I'm looking up? Ty Haywood. No, I gave you Denton, Texas on him.
Yeah. Caleb Williams.
I have to find him. You have to give me a second on old Caleb Williams.
Caleb
Cunningham. You gave me the wrong name.
Oh, that's what it was. Caleb Cunningham, 5-star wide receiver.
Ackerman, Mississippi. South or not?
South.
We're going to go south?
Yeah. They got the Mississippi Delta recipe.
Okay, now, I was told that's where Kalen DeBoer can't recruit. Does he know that is in the South, the state of Mississippi?
I don't think you can read a map.
Apparently not, because he's recruiting in Mississippi and apparently signing a guy.
Rockstar Cut 5. Zealous Hicks is from Carrollton, Georgia, and he was at the Rivals camp talking to the folks at Rivals and had this to say about Auburn recruiting.
A lot of Auburn rumors. Let's address it. What would you say about Auburn in your recruitment? Where they stand, what you're thinking?
Auburn stands really high as well. It's real high up there. I like all the coaches. Some of my teammates are there. It feels like home. They're real high up there.
What are they talking about? Hugh Freeze's first season. It seemed like things were trending in the right direction. He's taking over the offense. Is there more excitement kind of coming into that program?
Definitely more excitement knowing they got crazy recruiting right now. Like a lot of my guys committed there. A lot of my guys that y'all don't know of that I know is going to commit. That's going. It's big.
Yeah, sort of the hidden there. Now, you guys in the chat room were saying, friend of the show, Cole Pinkston, who works with Hoke with Auburn Live, was saying yesterday that he doesn't think Juju is going to end up at Auburn. I did not see that. That was you guys in the mybookie.ag chat room saying that's what Cole said. It's interesting to watch and see what happens with Hugh Freeze's recruitment. One thing you say about both of them right now, Alabama and Auburn, are in a pretty good spot. And then Georgia, we got tired of seeing Alabama and Auburn get all the headlines. So they flexed their muscle and got a 5-star edge rusher in Isaiah Gibson to commit to Georgia. So a little recruiting news there for you on the college football front. When we come back, we'll do a little this or that with the intern as she jumps in here, Anne Marie. And then we'll talk to Jacob Hester. Some more college football coming up. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Hemphill Services. LT, again, tell us about Hemphill.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trusted name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues, whether it's home or business. They are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Our friends at Longest Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Longest offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Longest offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Longest sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Longest has to offer you.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Back with you on The Next Round as we roll on. Our This or That today with our intern, Anne Marie, brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher. She's got her shirt on. Did I do the cheer right? CLEMSON.
Yep, you go around with the O.
Yep. And South Carolina fans make it, they say it sounds like you guys are flushing a toilet at the stadium.
Well, they have their stupid little rags.
No, well,
We've stumbled into a heated rivalry.
We've got a stupid little rag.
Stupid little rag.
It's an easy rivalry.
It is?
So,
Clemson and South Carolina?
Yeah.
July 4th, a week from tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. New York Butcher Shop, Boston Butt Sale. How about this? Fully cooked, hickory smoked, only $42.99 each. They're available for pickup on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. Their stores are going to be closed on July 4th at 3 p.m., but you do have until 3 p.m. 2 locations for Jim and the guys at the New York Butcher Shop. Get that Boston butt. They've also got a great selection of house-made bratwurst, sausages, Angus beef hot dogs to go along with those handmade hamburger patties. To pre-order, though, the Boston butt for $42.99, fully cooked, hickory smoked, Cahaba Heights location, 205-970-7300. That's 205-970-7300. The Greystone location, 205-703-8825. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well done service.
Jay says intern needs a TNR sticker on that laptop. She's got her Chi Omega
I
sticker
know.
on there.
I need to decorate it a little bit more.
We got
It's kind of
stickers.
plain.
You don't have a lot of
I'll
flair.
take a sticker.
Okay, wait a second. I've got the Clemson cheer down. Let's see if I got the Coyote cheer. Let's see. X in a horseshoe Coyote?
Well, yeah, it is an X and an O. But you would go like, that's the little sign.
He learned
if
it.
you want to throw it up.
He learned it in Rush, right?
Rockstar asked you a important
did Kyle
question.
rush you?
What do you do at night when you're alone? What do you do?
Yes, I mean, it is a very important question.
It was in the Katie Kirk newsletter today. I'm kidding. This or that. Anne Marie has given us several of these in her internship up here. It is random, and she starts us off. Let's go.
All right, I have first ski trip or beach trip.
Ski trip.
Beach trip.
Okay.
Beach trip.
I like the mountains better than I like the beach.
I love the mountains. I like hanging around the lodge, having a cocktail, watching the fire, but the skiing's a lot of work.
I've never been on a ski trip though.
It's a blast.
I
love it.
I was just thinking about maybe that's something I need to do for the wife at some point.
Yeah, probably.
But I've never gone on a ski trip and probably wouldn't ski if I went because I don't think I'm that athletic.
There's much more to do though, like at the beach. Like everybody skis, everybody goes sleep early. I mean, if you love that, you love it.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big skier.
Yeah, I used to go skiing like every year, but then like COVID and all that.
Yeah.
But I think I like skiing because it's different. Like it's more of a seasonal thing.
Right.
You know?
You've seen me like trip walking to the bathroom.
Right.
Do you think I'd be able to ski?
I mean, I think skiing would be better for you than snowboarding, probably.
Yeah, I don't want to snow now. Dunaway brings up snowboarding.
You should do moguls.
Okay, the next one I have are ghost real or fake?
Ooh.
Real or fake?
I think they're fake. I don't think ghosts exist.
I think they're real for some people. I mean, you've had way too many people that have seen them. Like I've said this before, Emery. I never want to see one. I just don't.
Well, then you probably shouldn't comment.
Yeah. No, but I've said that before, and I've been okay.
Someone's going to come back with a really weird story after we're saying this.
There's a lot of weird stuff out there. So I'm going to say yes, they're real.
Yeah. I think
What about you?
I think there's like paranormal activity and like weird stuff that happens, but I don't like think that everybody comes back and is like a ghost. Like, I think that's a little far-fetched, you know?
I agree. I think we sometimes confuse ghosts with demons.
Yeah.
And if I believe in heaven, then there's a hell, and I'm afraid the demons occasionally seep back into the world.
Brooks over the mybookie.ag, I've witnessed ghost 100% real. I mean, I have talked to people, and their stories are insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
there are
that's the
some
only reason.
really creepy things.
Like, I hate to discount somebody that has seen it over and over again.
But it's one of those things that's just impossible to prove, you know? I mean, it's just word. You got to take somebody's word for it. There's going to be never any proof of it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. If this flashes before Bud Light, and it's not a clean edit here, then there's a ghost or real.
Okay,
oh,
well.
there's a clean edit.
All right.
They're not here right now. Okay.
I think I'm convinced now, Rockstar.
I've never thought of it like that.
What's worse on a plane, a baby crying or someone kicking your seat?
LT's going to say Jim trying to prevent a baby from crying.
I'm gonna say
the worst is the baby crying kicking your seat.
Yeah, I'm going to say someone kicking your seat. The baby crying's annoying, but that's just doing what a baby does.
Right.
The baby doesn't know any better. The mom, most of the time's doing her absolute best. Adults that should know better are kicking your seat.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have my seat kicked, I guess, than to hear a baby scream.
Yeah.
But I agree with Brown's rationale there. Kids just don't know what they're doing. The mom and dad are trying to help the kid, and Unfortunately, some of these kids have got to fly. I'd rather be on a flight with no kids.
Well, there's a new trend that people taking pictures of the girl behind me in my plane, and if I'm sitting on the window, and then she puts her foot up to rest on my footrest, and you see just like a bare foot.
No. That's a foul.
You can't take your shoes off.
I would tell you this. I think I'm going to go with the baby crying. Ears may be popping or anything. I'm with you guys. Adults or even kids behind you kicking seats and parents not paying attention to their kids kicking my seat bothers me a lot more. I can put in earbuds and get rid of the baby crying.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Okay, messy room or messy car?
Messy rumor? Oh, room.
Room, yeah. Which one's worse?
We should have neither.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Both of them are awful.
They both really gross me out.
I
but
know,
which one's
I know
more
your
gross?
dad would not allow that.
Oh my gosh.
I would say the worst would be the dirty room. I mean, you're talking about like bedroom?
Yeah, like your personal room.
You're going to spend more time in there.
Yeah.
And, some people on the go, like I have seen some people's cars that are a little messy, and they're not necessarily messy people, if that makes any sense at all. But I would rather have, again, neither's the answer, but I would rather have a messy car than a messy room.
One of the greatest compliments Lance has ever given me, and I will never forget this. I'll take this to my grave. We got in a car with a group.
It's sad that this is one of the best compliments I've ever given you.
But I accept it as a great compliment, Lance, because I pride myself in a clean car. And we got in a car one time, and Lance told the person that was with us, "Look how clean Brown's car is. This is the way a car should look." You remember that?
I'm vaguely.
I do. I remember it well. The person with us didn't appreciate that, but I did. I thought it was a great compliment. I mean, I took great pride in it.
I'm sorry, we were rushing somewhere. I didn't appreciate it enough. No, a messy car is more acceptable. I mean,
yeah,
when the place you sleep should be as neat as possible.
I have a rule. Everything you bring into the car, when you get back home, you take it out of the car. Do not leave anything in the car, and then your car does not get messy.
You would be not shocked, but I worked at a car wash for a couple of summers.
Yeah.
And 3 out of 4 cars were filthy. Like change all over, French fries in the bottom of the floor.
Can't live
dip cups. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And I mean, for the most part, people just aren't clean.
Yeah,
it's kind of the way it is.
Abby Chen, who we all know, I used to work with. I think it was her that showed me this before. It was in our news vehicle, and I've noticed it about cars before. Occasionally, people pick their nose when they're riding down the road. And she said, just look at the front of the news vehicle seat and like of the driver's seat.
Pick and wipe?
Pick and wipe on the front of the seat.
Why? Just roll the window down and thump.
That is so gross.
That's terrible.
Some
That's
tissue.
an awful human that does that.
That's awful.
That's a fireable offense.
So
that's really gross.
From that point on, every time I would get into a rental or a news vehicle, I would check the driver's seat to make sure. Yeah.
That changes a lot of things for me.
Yeah. So next time you get into a rental, I would check that.
That's horrible. Okay, slow walkers or slow drivers? What's worse to you? What's more annoying?
It's easier for me to get around a slow walker. A slow driver that gets over in the left lane is actually blocking the way I get around slow drivers.
Yeah.
So I'd go slow driver is worse.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you what's bad is like, down at the beach when everybody's on a bicycle, but half the people don't know how to ride the bicycle.
Yeah.
And you're trying to navigate yourself down that sidewalk. But I agree with you. I would go slow driver.
I was at the less expensive end of 30A at this time.
What is that like?
I'm just saying it's nice, but it's further drives between things, and everyone's got a golf cart. So, they are going, that golf cart's maxed out. But if they're driving 3 miles on our road, you get a long line behind you of cars who can go a lot faster than your golf cart. And that end of 30A, that golf cart can be frustrating on the road with. I'm okay with slow drivers, even in the left lane on interstates, driving back from the beach. It doesn't bother me. I can't stand, even if you're doing 70, the cars that are side by side blocking both lanes.
That happened to me on the way here. I almost lost my mind.
I need some room so I can navigate between you, left and right lanes. Just don't be driving the same speed side by side to allow cars that want to go faster around you.
Are you a aggressive driver?
I would say I'm more defensive. Like I don't really care if I have to be slow to move over because I'd rather not get in a car accident.
Right.
Like I'm just gonna play it safe.
So you're anti-car accident?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is a good thing to be.
Yep.
But I will say, like driving in Atlanta, you have to be aggressive at some points. So I think I've learned that a little bit. And then also just going to school in the state of South Carolina, those drivers are horrible.
Yeah.
They're not very good at driving.
Probably they have rags in their car cheering for a different team.
I'm sure.
The great Dale Earnhardt said this one time in an interview, and it changed my life on driving, that sometimes speeding up is the best way to avoid an accident.
Okay. Well,
How about that?
He was talking about
Maybe.
a NASCAR race, not driving on I-285.
Keep being defensive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I get.
But think about
I don't trust other people.
You got a semi in the right lane, and you're in the left lane. You want to get around it as fast as you can because he really can't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't just sit there right beside him.
I've had to realize that. That was a few trial and errors of me, like, not going extremely fast next to the semi-truck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they are, like, trying to merge into me. But you have to really speed to get in front of them. Let's see. Next one that I have. No movies for the rest of your life or no music?
No movies. Yeah, pretty easy for me.
I do love movies,
I
but
listen
I
to
would
way
say
more
movies.
music than I watch movies.
I would go no movies too, but I know what this guy's going to say.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Really, really tough.
I mean, what are you going to do when you get in the car? It's just going to be silent?
But
I mean, can I listen to a podcast?
I guess that's different. Yeah, you could listen to a podcast.
About people talking about movies.
LT, you like?
I watched this great movie the other day.
I like movies too
You like
much.
movies way more than you like.
Yeah,
But
this
I've
is easy.
kind of run out of movies though.
Yeah.
You've seen them all.
Like, yeah, seriously, on a weekend, Jack will be like, "What are we watching?" I try to reintroduce him to things. There's just not a lot of good things, and I've seen almost everything.
Yeah,
at least
there-
everything I want to see.
There aren't a ton of good movies anymore, but I think that now there are shows that are longer to where it's like kind of the equivalent of like a smaller movie.
Oh, episode 2
I saw it.
of House of Dragons.
It was good. I don't know where you got your info on
Wait,
that.
I haven't
was 90 minutes.
started it yet.
There was
It was
there
90
were
minutes.
15 to 20 episodes in Game of Thrones that were better than that episode.
know where
I
you
like.
got your
I didn't
like-
say it was the best one ever. I said in a long time. 90 minutes, best 90 minutes of TV I'd seen in
Yeah,
a long time.
I thought it was good. I mean, I think it sets up for the rest of this season and ultimately the series. But
I just finished Game of Thrones.
Did you? How good was
Yeah,
that though?
it was really good.
last season sucked.
I don't know. Everybody said it was so awful, and I was just expecting like Jon Snow to die the entire time.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Well, sorry. Well.
Yeah.
So
But-
was Jon Snow your favorite character?
Well, I liked him. I did like Daenerys for a while, and then she, like, the last season, she really started to annoy me. I was like,
Spoiler alert.
yeah. Sorry, guys.
Genetically,
Trigger warning.
she had that in her, you know?
Yeah, that's what it came to.
Mad
but
King.
It really wasn't. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the ending.
Well, take House of Dragon's good. It's not great. It's good.
Yeah, I need to start it. I've heard it's pretty good.
For the record, I don't think House of Dragons is better than Game of Thrones. I was
Yeah,
just
some
saying
people do, though.
It was really,
Yeah,
really
some
good.
people
The
do.
Meltdown guy's live again at 2:00. I believe House of Dragons is better. Lunceford, your microphone. Do you believe House of Dragons is better than Game of Thrones?
So far, I think House of the Dragon is better than Game of Thrones.
I knew Lunceford was going to correct that because he loves to do that, like Rockstar does on songs. And
So sorry, I like to be right.
House
I
of
do.
the Dragons?
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Like one time I called it The Family Guy, and Lunceford was like, "There's no such thing as The Family Guy. It's Family Guy." I'm like, okay, I think everybody knew what I was talking about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I like where it's heading, but I
personally like Apartment of Dragons, really.
Yeah, Chris H is saying
poor
there
dragons.
is a Chinese restaurant somewhere in our viewing area, House of Dragons. It's about to get a lot of orders for lunch.
It's all I can think of when you said it.
Can I get a
Dragons.
piece of that, Allison?
Can I get the kung pao and 2 egg rolls?
Sir Kristen has.
Yes. Is that it?
Oh no, I
you
have.
got one more?
No, yeah. Okay, I hate.
that was a Dunaway move.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
it's not. I just didn't
that
know.
really was.
No, I am not trying to rush her on at all. I just didn't know
Is
if
that
was
it?
Yeah.
You got
How many-
one more?
Just so we know, how many more do you have?
I do have 2 more, but
Two more.
Well,
okay.
no, you can do both of them. I just it got awkwardly quiet. Nobody was talking, so I was.
We've got
trying to-
plenty of time.
We got
Okay.
tons of time.
Okay.
Trust me, I'd rather do this.
Okay, I have.
What?
Forget your music. Forget your music at the gym. That's like my biggest. If I forget my music, I'll leave if I'm at the gym.
Oh, you mean you gotta work out without music?
Work out without
Oh,
music,
yeah. No, thank
or no water.
Oh God.
To me, that's easy.
Oh,
but some people,
I'd
that's
rather
hard.
work out with no music.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
Some point you got to drink water.
Yeah, the
You're
only
gonna
time I
die.
would really listen to music when I was working out is when I run.
I have to. I think drinking water, like I'm
So
bad
like
about
if you're
drinking
doing
water at
weights,
the
you're
gym.
listening to music?
Yeah, no water.
Is that
Me
more
too.
to keep people from not talking to you? See,
Yeah.
I never work out in public.
I hate going to the gym and seeing people I know because they want to talk to me, and then I'm like, okay, I've
I've
been
got
having
45 minutes to
way
work
too much
out.
rest in between here. But I also my dad, he grew up, like, I used to do stadiums. Like, he used to just make me do stadiums. And, like, he would tell me waters for the week. Like, I couldn't train without. Well, okay, that sounds really bad.
Don't
like,
tell that to some ex
Okay, that
coaches.
sounds really bad. Like, I obviously got water, but he would be like.
Your dad coaching the 60s? Salt pills?
I would obviously get water, but I ran cross country, so I wasn't drinking water for, like, 6 miles.
Yeah.
You know?
Oof. That's
Yeah.
right.
So I'm, like, used to it, I guess.
So where do you, as a parent, if you have a kid that runs cross country, where do you post up to watch them?
Oh my gosh, it's the most boring sport to
Not
watch.
three.
I feel so bad.
There she goes. And then is there a way you can do a shortcut like through the woods and
there
they
she
see you
is.
again?
There she is. Yeah, no,
Okay,
seriously.
okay.
So it'd be like there's a cut through, like you'll see us running through one spot, and then there'll be like a cut through, and you can usually get there, and then you'll see us again. But it's like it's really not that good until the end when you're like finishing the race. I mean, track is way more fun to watch, but yeah, it's brutal.
All right, one more.
Yeah, one more.
That was a Dunaway move.
I keep waiting on Rockstar to hit 4th down. That's what I keep listening for.
Oh wait, I think that. Oh wait, no, yeah, I had one more.
All right.
Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics? 'Cause it's in a month. So
Neither.
World Games.
Throw that one in.
Don't really care. World Games.
I guess summer, just for track and
Do you guys don't
field.
like the Olympics that
Not
much?
really.
Really?
Summer for me because of swimming. I enjoy.
Gymnastics.
I like the gymnastics. I like. I like the summer.
Yeah,
Wait, the Olympics are so fun to watch.
Yeah, not really.
They're coming to LA in 2028.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Summer Olympics. And in fact, SoFi Stadium is going to host swimming.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We just learned they could do it at Lincoln
Oh, there you
Field
go.
in Indianapolis.
Are they doing an above ground pool?
No, they're going to
That
put
would
it
be
in
nice.
I mean, they're not putting a damn pool in there.
No, they build a station.
So it's an above ground pool.
They just did it in Indianapolis for the U.S. trials.
He's right. It's an above ground pool. Lance is not incorrect on this.
And finally, in the Olympics, they figured this out. Instead of building all new stuff in Los Angeles, they're going to use all the stuff we already have built in the United States. For instance, we're not going to build new softball stadiums in Los Angeles for softball, which returns to the Olympics in 2028. Where are we going to play it, Brown? We're going to go to Oklahoma City and play the softball
Very
there.
short commute.
Yeah, very LA.
Canoeing. There's no water in California.
Do the Akoi?
We're not going to do canoeing. We're going to go to Oklahoma City. Apparently, they can canoe in Oklahoma City, too.
Wow.
Interesting.
But to answer your question, the only time I really enjoyed the Olympics, McDonald's had a giveaway. America won gold. You'd get certain things.
Okay.
That kept me as a kid
Yeah.
really.
I like how they barely use the theme song when they're coming back.
Oh, I
from
know. NBC does not like to play that one.
Dun, 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 dun,
it's
Going to
fun.
break, coming back from break.
Favorite Olympian of all time then?
Oh, Michael Phelps.
Okay.
Yeah. I like Mike Phelps.
I do
Good
too.
swimmer.
Are you a swimmer?
I used to,
Kim's a mess.
but that's why it was really fun.
Who
to
was
watch.
Kim
But her dad said no water, so you
Yeah.
had to give up
Couldn't
swimming.
drink the water in the
When
pool,
I was
obviously.
a kid, there was some runner named Zola Budd that ran barefoot. Y'all remember her?
Nope.
I
How
remember
do
the
I
name.
remember that? Zola Budd. I think she ran barefoot. That seems dumb.
That is Anne Marie, CLEMSON. And she's our intern with this or that. When we come back, Jacob Hester from LSU and now Sirius XM fame. We'll talk SEC football, LSU football, and more with us on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Michelson Laser Vision.
I talked to our friend, Dr. Mark Michelson, yesterday. I've got a friend going in the morning to, he made the mistake of going to the wrong person years ago.
Oh, no.
So Dr. Michelson's going to clean that up. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Also ask about the pre-inflation pricing. Again, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind for years. Got the procedure done. I still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter @ScottForesterTV.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons, Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville. Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
LSU is our 40-40 team today at number 11, Brownie, where we are.
Jacob Hester played a great career for LSU and then went on to the NFL.
Spilt that blood.
Spilt that blood in Tiger Stadium under the lights. What's up, Hester? How are you?
I'm doing well. Always a pleasure to come on with y'all. Yeah, you know, a long time ago, but yeah, that did happen way back in the day. I try to remind my kids of that, but when I show them the highlights, they say it's a little too grainy for them to make sure it was actually me playing for LSU then.
It's the on your wall of jerseys behind you. I think the LSU jersey's the second best behind the Charger powder blue. Bottom center powder blue, I go number 1. LSU white, I think I go
I think I
number 2.
go LSU white 1.
Would you? In front of the Charger powder blue?
I think the powder blue is a little overrated.
Oh,
I like it, but I think it's a
Oh,
little...
and we were off to such a good start. The Charger powder blue is just chef's kiss. It's my favorite. Now, the one right above my head, the old AFL throwbacks, that was a fun year with Patriots, Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers. We all had our AFL jerseys. Now, those are probably my favorites to ever wear.
So when
in the NFL.
When we were previewing LSU earlier, I got called delusional because I brought up Garrett Nussmeier, and I said, who knows? Maybe he could be T. Martin, and this could be Tennessee from 1998. Like, I believe in Brian Kelly, and people are like, he's not that great of a coach. He hasn't accomplished. And I'm like, dude, look what he did at Notre Dame, and he's won 20 games in 2 years, been to an SEC championship, Heisman Trophy winner. The defense was a disaster. But tell me why this could be a dark horse national championship contender this year.
Yeah, so you're right about, winning 20 games, and the expectation at LSU is to win double-digit games. We all understand that, but what he took over was not great. I mean, LSU before, Brian Kelly takes over, they were steady and going along, and 2019 was great, but then, it just crashed. In 2020 and 21, you're under 500, which was the first time in over 20 years for LSU football not to go to a bowl game. And so what he takes over, it was honestly, it was like kind of a dumpster fire, right? And so you take that over. Year number one, nobody had LSU going to the SEC championship game. They do that, and then last year they get 10 wins as well, but still they want to raise their level of play. And Garrett Nussmeier is somebody that, he's a unicorn. Nobody sticks around and waits for their turn anymore in college football. Certainly somebody that when he's played, he's been really good. Like, you look at that SEC championship game against one of the historic Georgia defenses, he came in. The moment certainly wasn't too big for him. Now, LSU lost the game. We all know that. They gave up 50 points, but, Nussmeier made play after play. We saw him in the bowl game go 90-plus yards to beat Wisconsin. So there's a lot of faith in Garrett Nussmeier. One of the reasons I think LSU is going to be more well-rounded, because you had the number one offense in the country last year. It was historic. We all know that. You're probably still going to be in the top 15 offensively this year. And your hope is you're not 106 in total defense. Now, you don't have to be the 85 Bears. You just have to be not awful on defense like you were a year ago at 106. If you're 60th, if you're 55th, right? We're talking about a completely different LSU football team. And that's why you go make changes on all three levels. You get Bo Davis and Blake Baker, and Corey Raymond comes back. So you spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort to change up everything on defense because, well, you needed wholesale changes. And so for that reason alone, I think you'll see LSU kind of in the same position they were a year ago, right? You win 10 games, you had close losses, you lose to Ole Miss, last play of the game to go win it. And outside of Florida State, where you never were in that game in the second half, you had a chance even in your losses. And so I think LSU is going to be a more well-rounded team. Even though the offense will take a step back, it won't be a huge jump back.
Nothing's more boring to me than talking about blocking, but I understand you can't win without blocking. And I know you did it very well as well. You were a great runner and blocker. This LSU offensive line seems to be the real deal. Now, you got a lot of great ones in the SEC, but talk about LSU, what they have back in the O-line. Is it good enough to be championship quality?
I think it is. You have both guards and both tackles back, and DJ Chester taking over at the center position was a highly rated recruit coming out of high school. Not to besmirch Charles Turner, but he was at one time a tight end at LSU, and then he turned into a pretty good center, played the Senior Bowl, the whole deal. But I think you have more talent at the center position, and then you've got two of the best tackles in the country. I think Will Campbell, and I know this is an offensive lineman, I think Will Campbell's the best player in college football. Ooh. Like, I truly believe that about Will Campbell. I think he is that kind of player. And on the other side, right, Emory Jones, he's not far off. He's a top 5 tackle across the country. And so your bookend tackles are two of the best 5 that play the position in the sport. That's going to give you a chance in almost every game that you play. You look at Dellinger, you look at how many starts he's had in his career. You've got so much experience across that offensive line, and I think it's going to give a quarterback that, look, Garrett Nussmeier is not a young guy, doesn't have a lot of starts. He has one start, actually. Now, he's played a lot, but he's got one start under his belt. That just it helps you ease into your role as a starting quarterback, and I think it's the best offensive line in the country. It's LSU's biggest selling point, and it starts with those two tackles you've got.
Jacob Hester is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. At Jacob Hester 18 is where you find him on social media. You hear him on Sirius XM Off the Bench with T-Bob. They're in the state of Louisiana, does tremendous work there. He's talking some LSU football with us. I would say true or false, LSU's defense can't get worse, but I know that's true. How much better can it realistically get? What was it, 28 points per game? Is that right?
Yeah, 27.8 points per game.
Give me a target, Hester. How much can you improve a defense year to year?
They're not going to be the number 5 defense in the country. You can't make a leap like that. I think there was holes on this roster. They tried to fill some of them. They did an okay job on the defensive front to try to add some bodies. Linebacker is probably their strongest position. They've got some real players there. We talk a lot about Harold Perkins. I love Whit Weeks. I think he is going to be somebody that the country knows who he is by the end of the year. I love Greg Penn. The defensive backfield, I don't think is as bad as a lot of people are saying. I think you've got young players there. You get Jordan Gilbert to come over from Texas A&M. I like that move there. It's going to come down to the defensive front, because you did everything you could, but you didn't get some of the targets that you had out there. I think, though, if we're talking about improvements, I think just knowing what you're doing, knowing that, if we're playing quarter halves, we're playing quarter halves, right? Everybody's on the same page. So many times you'd look up and there would be 10 guys doing one thing and another guy doing a rogue thing. You can't have that. I mean, defensive football, certainly in today's age of throwing the football, going down the field, going against all these highly touted quarterbacks in coverages, you can't be playing something that nobody else is playing. And 7, 8, 9 times in the year, you turn it on and LSU just looked discombobulated back there. So I think, you still have some talent issues up front as far as the depth that you have. But just because of where I think you're going to learn from Blake Baker and be in the right spot and not be doing your own thing, I think for that reason, LSU is going to be much better on defense. Again, I am not saying they're going to be a top 5, top 10, top 15. They're probably going to live somewhere between 45 and 65. But when you were 106 last year, that might be enough improvement to go with a top-tier offense, which I think they're going to be, to have, again, a similar chance last year, right? 1 or 2 of those games go your way, in a new 12-team playoff, you're in it.
So back to Harold Perkins Jr., when you said, hey, this roster might have the best player in college football, most people wouldn't have gone Will Campbell. Most people would have said probably Harold Perkins, but a lot of people thought he was misutilized, mispositioned last year, going from the edge to playing some inside. Just talk about that in general, and Blake Baker now coming in and taking this defense over. Where will Perkins play?
Yeah, so actually Harold Perkins ended up being kind of a nickel Sam last year, believe it or not. Like, you typically don't take your best edge rusher and put him as a nickel Sam, but that's what LSU did last year. And he can do almost anything on a football field, and so he actually held his own. But I don't want Harold Perkins covering the slot. That's not what his skill set is. I would rather have him as a stack backer if you're not going to have him as an edge rusher. So I think the plan this year is going to be 1st and 2nd down. You'll see Harold Perkins because he's not a 3-down edge rusher. He doesn't have that kind of size. Can he affect the game? Yes, but if you want him at his best, I think it's inside the box on 1st and 2nd down. On 3rd down, let him go. Tell him, go get the quarterback, look like Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what you need to do with him. And Blake Baker, he's got a couple of linebackers on his resume that make you believe he can get the most out of Harold Perkins. But if LSU fans are looking for a comp, look at Damone Clark. Everybody in Baton Rouge said, Damone Clark can't play. Well, Blake Baker gets here as a linebacker coach, and Damone Clark starts for the Dallas Cowboys now and is one of their best players on defense. Right, because Blake Baker saw something in him. I remember having conversations with Blake, and LSU's about to play Kentucky. He's like, people told me this guy can't play, and I don't know if I'm crazy or if I'm missing something, but I think he is a Sunday player. Well, lo and behold, he is a Sunday player. He's a Sunday starter, and so Blake is going to get the most out of that unit. I think Harold Perkins is going to have a lot of different roles. I just hope it's not as a nickel Sam, because that's just not where he's at best. Again, he can hold his own. I want him getting after the quarterback on 3rd downs. Again, I'll go back to Whit Weeks. Look for Whit Weeks to be somebody in Blake Baker's defense that, again, everyone in the SEC is going to know who he is because of his growth under Blake Baker.
Harder to co-host a show with T-Bob after a night with the guys out on the town, or EJ Manuel with a month in Germany? I mean, you've got some challenges in your career right now.
Oh, that is such a great question. So we call T-Bob T Cabo now because he has been in Cabo twice since April. Actually, his stepfather owns a home there. And so it's basically like, we all go down to 30A, or we go down to somewhere in the Panhandle, Gold IB. That's what Cabo is to T-Bob. And so when he's let loose, right, he always says, if you want to soar with the, if you want to hoot with the Owls, you got to soar with the Eagles in the morning. That's always his saying. And I give him credit. He does that pretty well. And then EJ, he's in Germany for a month. That's where his wife's from. We got some Wi-Fi issues in Germany, right? And I can understand why, but we got to get this deal fixed. And then I've got Bobby Carpenter, who, look, this is a term of endearment coming from me. He's the biggest meathead of them all. He's basically trying to do push-ups and curls in between not only the breaks, but asking questions to somebody that we have on the show. I'll be going, it's my turn, and I look up, and Bobby's got a bar doing curls during the interview. And so I've got a lot of challenges.
Lance used to do that in our morning radio days. He'd get his morning workout in commercial breaks.
Well, I mean, we were going through COVID, Hester, and so we were doing the show from my basement. And so instead of us just hanging out on the couch talking between break, I'd run in and get some reps.
Well, Bobby does that, but he also does it again. And I would like to tell you that he puts his microphone on mute, but he does not. And also, Bobby Carpenter has never met a protein that he doesn't enjoy. Again, during the show, and I often tell him, hey, you don't have one of those microphones that cancels out the noise. You're on a headset. I can hear the smacking. But does he care? No, he just continues on with the meatheadness.
No, I cannot listen to smacking. That's where I would draw the line. He lifted all the weights he wants. He cannot smack in my ears. All right, go follow Hester on Twitter at JacobHester18. Hear him on SiriusXM. And when T-Bob is in the United States of America, off the bench with T-Bob there in Louisiana. Always fun, Hester. Thank you very much for the time, buddy.
Yeah, always appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, man. We'll see you soon. Jacob with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
I mean, tell me about T-Bob and Cabo. Would that not be a good trip?
Oh, I don't know if you guys have been to Cabo. Cabo
I've never
is
been.
wild.
Man, I think T-Bob would.
Yeah. The problem is, man, you take a wrong turn in Cabo.
Yeah, you never see America again.
If you're going to hoot
a lot going on.
If you're going to hoot with the Owls, you got to soar with the Eagles.
That's right.
Yeah. In the morning.
Hydrolive, good going to T-Bob or to Cabo or coming back. Hydrolive can keep you hydrated. I played golf yesterday. I don't know what the heat index was yesterday, but it was 100 real degrees, so it had to be a plus that. And I've never had a heat problem.
Right.
And I felt great on the course. I took a shower and then went to dinner with the guys we'd golfed with. And when I got to dinner, I felt like I was going to throw up the entire meal. I barely touched my steak or my salad.
This is why you hydrate before. A lot of people will do it after. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're about to go out for a long round of golf in 99-degree heat, hydrate before. You're going to reduce stress, anxiety. It's going to increase that energy, boost your immune system, and much more. Ask about memberships. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Save up to 50% off regular pricing for all services. You're going to recoup the IV membership fee in just one visit with that free IV bag every single month. Hydrolife Therapy, open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations here in Birmingham, one in Homewood, one in Greystone. There's a Tuscaloosa location as well. Make sure you mention the next round, 20% off any of these great services. Go to hydrolivetherapy.com for more information.
We're about to talk to the coach of the squadron, TJ Saint, a little basketball conversation with him coming up. We'll ask him about just Mark Sears' size and some evaluation of some future NBA players and how he does his job there at the G League level. It's NBA draft night tonight. We'll talk a little hoop coming back on the other side of the show, being brought to you by Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. If you're trying to lose some weight right now, one way to jumpstart that weight loss is with our friends at Way to Wellness. They do it healthy, and they do it in a way that you'll be able to sustain it for a lifetime. These are the guys getting a free evaluation from Leslie and her board-certified team. If you go to the website at planforme.com, you'll find out that there are no contracts, no sign-up fee, and that consultation that you see on your screen right now is absolutely free. The website, again, planforme.com, planforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Special guest in studio from the Squadron, TJ Saint, head coach, is going to talk a little basketball with us here. This hour brought to you by the wonderful folks at Champy's Chicken. They always have the last hour of the show. Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com. Sterling and the crew down there, they cook that chicken to order, piping hot when it comes out. Best chicken fingers in town, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken.
We love talking to Coach TJ Saint. We're going to talk a little basketball with him. You can follow him on Twitter at TJ Saint4. Draft party tonight down at Avondale, 7 o'clock. So come by and see not just who the Pelicans draft, but who anybody drafts. Welcome in, Coach. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in. How exciting is the draft for you?
Very exciting. About 2 weeks after our season ends, I kind of get updated on all the scouting and the lists. My GM, Adam Barnes, and I, we kind of hit the road. We go to Portsmouth first and then do the combine in Chicago. So we've started interviewing guys a couple months ago. So depending on what the Pelicans do at 21 drastically affects us. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, especially in the second round, right?
Yeah, the second round is more, kind of a crapshoot. You don't really know what other teams value as much. And those second round picks, you've seen it with E.J. Liddell. He's come here. So if we were to get a pick in the second round, which we don't right now, that prospect would most likely come to us, or you can two-way somebody, which would most likely come to us as well.
A lot of the Squadron fans are also fans of Alabama and Auburn and UAB and Samford basketball. One thing that was talked about this whole off season was Mark Sears, whether he should stay in the draft or come back for another season. He ends up coming back to Alabama. When you guys are evaluating players, how much of it does it come down to just this guy is not 6'1", or he's not 6'2" or 6'3"? I mean, how much does that factor in really when you're doing the real work?
Well, the Pelicans, if you watch them, they value size. I mean, they don't actually start a true point guard. They don't even have a true point guard off the bench besides Jose Alvarado, but he's kind of a different Swiss Army knife. The size is a bit of a factor for us in Birmingham because we want to replicate the things that the Pelicans do. So it's really all about whoever they draft and whoever they're going to sign to us or whoever the two ways end up being. We want to build our team in Birmingham around those guys to get them the best fit.
Yeah, but just as a basketball guy, take your Squadron head coach hat off.
Okay,
how important? Now
He's handed it to me.
Yeah, you're just evaluating now.
So
I mean, does size matter that much when you see a guy put that kind of tape out?
I think it matters a lot. Mark Sears is a good player. Obviously, he's going back. I'm 5'10", $165, soaking wet. I was a walk-on. Not a great defender, okay player, so I value bigger people than me. So, yeah, I value size tremendously.
You'd rather have Sean Livingston.
Yeah. He'd be better than TJ Saint for sure.
But, I mean, I've heard people saying, you may not know the answer to this, the amount of under 6 foot players in the NBA right now is 0 or 1, or it's not many guys that are under 6 foot in the NBA.
I don't know the exact
Yeah.
stat. I know Jose is 5'11", 6
Yeah.
foot. So we've got one of them right at 6 foot. Yeah.
Right. So it's an uphill battle for a guy no matter how good he is.
I mean, you look at the team that won the NBA championship. They're huge. The
Yeah.
smallest guy they start is 6'6", and you're seeing different teams. I mean, you saw the New York Knicks trade last night to try to get even with them with Mikal Bridges. So size is a big factor.
that's like, I mean, I think a lot of people watch Steph Curry and they're like, that dude's not big at all. Steph Curry's 6'3".
Yeah, and he's very long too.
Yeah, 6'3". I mean,
It looks like this on the court,
I know.
though.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know that until you go to an NBA game that you can fully comprehend how big those guys are.
Yeah, and even at our level, like you come downtown to Legacy Arena and watch us play, like it's a really good product. I mean, the size is ridiculous compared to college because we're getting the best college players at the highest conferences. And I kind of compare it to this. A lot of people ask me, like, what's it like? It's basically like a G League schedule. You're playing, let's say you're in the SEC, but you're playing the top 3 teams in the SEC every single night for 50 games. So everybody's really good, everybody's really athletic, and the margin's very thin.
If you take wife or girlfriend to see Golden State in person, they're probably going to look over to you and say, man, Steph Curry is short. And as we said, he's 6'3". Bronny James is only 6'2". And this is a guy that averaged less than 5 points per game. I know there were kind of guardrails with the medical and everything that was going on at USC, but I am blown away as a Lakers fan that the Lakers are more than likely going to draft him tomorrow in the second round. I don't know if you've seen, I mean, he's a favorite. He's minus 130 to get drafted by the Lakers right now in Las Vegas. Have you watched Bronny play? I know he's got a skill set, but there's 1,000,000 guys in the NBA.
Yeah, I haven't seen him a lot. I saw him at the Combine. I don't watch, and this is kind of bad probably, I don't watch a single clip of college basketball during our season. I just kind of get caught up after the season. But I've seen him live in Chicago, yeah.
So you don't even watch the college game, like the NCAA tournament?
We'll have it on in the background,
Yeah.
but we're playing it. There's a lot going on. Not really. I don't really focus in on any player until they start assigning it to me after our season.
Brown thinks you're Steve Kerr and you have like 18 assistants, like a whole row of assistants behind you. He doesn't think you're doing the work.
Yeah, I wish we had 18.
Hey, speaking of which,
I think, look, the game takes care of itself. You just do whatever you want.
Just roll the balls out.
Yeah, just roll the balls out.
Look behind the Golden State bench. How many other people they have sitting back there?
These are professional basketball players. What kind of coaching do they need, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, look, we
what
know.
do I do? I don't know.
I know, exactly. I'm watching the college game.
We have got smart, very intelligent fans and people that watch this, and so they know what goes into coaching. But go back 10 years ago. You were a video coordinator for the Detroit Pistons. It's really how you started your career. And Eric Spoelstra was doing the same thing for the Heat. What exactly is the video coordinator?
It's changed a lot. I mean, I kind of got in it right after DVDs kind of had been erased. When Eric was doing it, they were doing VHS tapes, staying up till, he told me, 3 a.m, and then Pat Riley wouldn't use the edit. So that's how that kind of goes. So
not shocking.
So no, 10 years ago, it's funny. I was working for Detroit, like you said. I was working for Stan Van Gundy, and it was a very demanding job. I was there at 6 a.m., left probably about 5 p.m. every day, but doing everything for him. But honestly, like all the grunt work behind the scenes, learning the game, him texting at 1 a.m. when you land in Denver saying, hey, I need this by 8 a.m., and it all kind of comes to fruition now as becoming a head coach. It made me a lot better.
Do you treat your guys a little nicer?
Definitely nicer, but I do think you need to put them through that stuff to gain an advantage. There's a lot of people out there who want to do these jobs, and in the G League and the NBA, there's only 30, and so you got to have an edge and you got to have a skill set behind you to do that. Yeah.
Well, you coached with one of the legends, Rick Byrd, at Belmont.
I mean, I didn't. He did it all. I didn't.
Well,
do
I know
anything.
that, but you were a student assistant on the staff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just watching what he was able to do and those fun offenses Belmont had for so many years, that had to be big as well for your career.
Yeah, he is the most that I've worked for creative, special situations, offensive mind I've ever been around. He put a kind of an imprint on me offensively, and we actually did some stuff the last couple of years, but definitely this year in Birmingham with the squadron that I took a lot from my Belmont experiences. And actually, we ended up being like a top 5 offense in the history of the G League last year, number 1 in the season. So I owe him a lot. I owe everybody I work for a ton. I work for some really, really good head coaches.
TJ Saint is with us, the head coach of the Birmingham Squadron. Watch party tonight for the draft at Avondale, 7 o'clock tonight at Avondale. You can go watch, and Birmingham Squadron will be back on the court soon, so go ahead and get those tickets for that. Because Brad Stevens was another one of those guys.
Yeah, Brad Stevens.
Yeah, you were with him at Butler. If I've got the timeline right, you just missed the season, the first championship game, right? You were there for the second championship game.
So I got there actually after the second one, and then Butler went straight down right when I got there. So that's kind of how that worked.
Yeah. I just wonder because we talk about it all the time. That half-court shot that would have beaten Duke, that would have gone down maybe as the greatest play in college basketball history.
Or greatest play in basketball history, possibly.
I mean,
to win a national championship walk-off.
And that was close to falling.
Yeah, I actually echo that. I'm from Indianapolis originally, so I wasn't with Butler at the time, but I went and I got tickets to the Final Four. I was up way in the nosebleeds, but I was at that game, and it was at Lucas Oil where the Colts play.
Yeah.
So, I remember when the shot went up, it's 65,000-seat arena or whatever, and it's just eerily quiet. I actually heard the rim from way up there hit, and then all the gasps. It was a crazy game.
I mean, that thing is so close to going.
It was.
I've always said that good coaches could make good CEOs in most companies, and one of your philosophies, creating team identity. Just going to creating team identity, and I would assume that would work for a lot of businesses, right?
Yeah, I mean, something you have to do as a leader of anything that I've found, and I've trial and error, is kind of this season we came into it and I had to bring a foundational identity to our team as the head coach, and that was being fierce in everything that we do. And then I stole the Bill Walsh quote, champions behave like champions before they become them. So I wanted to bring those two things, and what we did, we took the logo on your hat, our star, and as the season went on, we allowed the players to add their own pieces of identity based on how we played to that. They would vote on it. I'd get a text at night from one of our captains last year, Devin Kennedy, who played at Princeton, 4-year pro. And I think over time, as you're leading something, you have to let go and let the players take the mantle, if you will. And I think that's the way you can maximize a team, is it eventually has to go from a coach-led team to a player-led team.
Can you win a championship without a leader?
No, I don't think so. I definitely
And that's kind of the knock on Luka, and we'll see how he grows. He's only 25 years old, but I mean, you knew there would be a narrative, but the narrative was this guy's not a leader. He's a great player. He's not a leader.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he would probably start for the squad.
I think so. You would take him and teach him leadership, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We got a lot more to do with Coach here. A couple of our great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Odie's. It's trivia night.
Brown?
I'm going to be there, Lance.
Rockstar's Wednesday, that means?
Trivia then.
Odie's Team Trivia. We'll do it at the original location of Crestline every single Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Get there a little early. Enjoy great food from Rodney Davis award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, including the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. 2 locations. The one we'll be at tonight in Crestline. Also Edgewood. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff, Odie's Tavern.
And also our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. Listen, as you get older, from your 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s, or when you get my age, there's a lot of things you worry about. Prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. UCA will take care of you. 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 16 locations. Find a location near you and make an appointment today. Our friends at UCA. I don't think a lot of people in our area, we take it for granted. But the Squadron getting to play at Legacy Arena, when I watch some of your games, I think is it My 68 where I watch them? When I watch some of your road games, not all venues are created equal in the G League. You guys play in some practice gyms, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say with 100% certainty we play in the best arena in the entire G League, and it's almost not even close. The product is good. The arena's good. We get the right kind of guys. We've had 13 or 14 call-ups in our 3 years of existence. It's like top 6 in the league. So if you come down, you're going to see a really good product with some good guys you can cheer for.
Who's the best player you've ever seen play with your own 2 eyes?
I was at Kobe Bryant, to be simple. And I was actually just talking to somebody about this. I was from Indianapolis, so I was a Pacer fan growing up. NBA Finals 2000. Game 4, okay? The Pacers are trying to tie it up 2-2, and that's back when
By the way, Rick Smits, underrated player.
Underrated, defense sort of good, but he was okay.
The Duncan Dutchman was okay.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay. I liked Antonio Davis a little bit better, but it was 2 games at L.A., 3 in Indiana, and then 2, back in L.A. And so game 4, Shaq fouls out right before overtime, or maybe it was right into overtime. And I'm sitting there, I'm seventh row with my friend and his dad, and I'm like, we got this. Like, we're going to tie this thing up. And then Kobe Bryant scored like 9 straight points. And we're driving home. I remember being in the back of the truck, and I was just like, even though I was a Pacer fan, I wasn't even sad or mad at anything because I knew I just witnessed greatness.
Yeah.
It was truly a pivotal moment for me to see that of like what greatness really was, because that's kind of when he became the legend that he ended up being.
Was that his last year we saw him in Atlanta? Do you remember that trip we took?
I think it was.
The three of us went and saw Kobe play in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and your Mondelli
probably,
was
yeah.
with us. And I'll just never forget, like, that was not vintage Kobe. I mean, that was his final year. That was old Kobe.
Oh, the tour.
The tour. I mean, yeah, that was the Thank You Kobe tour. But I will never forget, they're playing at the Hawks. He comes down, drains a 3. Lakers get a turnover, drains a 3. And that place was on fire. And then they get another fast break, and they kick it out to Kobe. And as soon as the ball hits his hands, the buzz, you mentioned like the gasp you could hear, the buzz in that arena was insane, and he airballed it.
Yeah, it's special.
You're like,
Special
dang,
player.
yeah, I know, but he airballed it. You're like, oh, that's the Kobe I'm watching right there.
So what happened to Indiana basketball? Not the Pacers. I'm talking about the Hoosiers.
Honestly, I don't know. I actually did I spent a year with Tom Crean at Georgia, who actually revived Indiana basketball, won the league 2 separate years outright, regular season. I don't really watch college basketball until these last 2 months, and I'm just looking at specific players, so I really don't follow it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you grew up watching Indiana basketball, though, right?
I did, but like even from a young age, I liked watching the Pacers and pro more, because in Indiana, you're either Purdue or you're IU, and then there's a small sect of Butler fans, right? I like the Pacers. I like pro basketball, so I really didn't get into it that much. I knew I wanted to coach. I tried to play pro. That didn't work. It stunted my growth. So I really wanted to coach, definitely.
2 quick ones before we start to wind down here with you. One of them, you talked about size being so important.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be too big in today's pro basketball? Like Zach Edey, I know there's a big discussion about how he fits in. Obviously, he's going to be drafted tonight. Can you be a liability in today's NBA?
I think with an example like that, he's somebody defensively who can only probably play one coverage and pick and roll or DHO defense, direct handoff defense in the NBA. So at times he could, but you want to have, versatility with lineups, and that comes in various players. So at a little bit, but he's also got a ton of strength at certain lineups he would be really, really useful in.
Is there a college offense that you watch that you think you don't watch enough to?
I really don't. Yeah, because it's a very different game. Like our lane is bigger, and you can't stand in it for 3 seconds. Or the 3-point line is farther, so the spacing's more out. It's a totally different approach to coaching, to be honest, because it's a different game.
I just didn't know if UConn or Alabama or somebody was running an offense that you think is more of a pro NBA-like offense.
Yeah, I'd say Alabama. I mean, Ryan Pannone, who was the head coach of the Squadron before me, who I worked for as an assistant, he took some stuff with Nate Oates, and Nate Oates is already doing a good job, but they kind of advanced it this year offensively, went to the Final Four. Alabama for sure, because I've watched them a little bit. Ryan and I have shared some clips, so I would say that, yeah.
Hey, growing up, what was more legendary?
You can't get past sharing clips, can you?
No.
It's in your DNA.
He actually sent me one this morning, yeah. So.
What was more legendary, though, Bobby Knight's coaching in Indiana or Larry Bird, the player?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say from a fan point of view, Bobby Knight coaching. Yeah, I actually spent a little bit of time. My family and we lived in Bloomington, Indiana for like 9 years, so I went to a couple IU games, and he was just...
Without the negativity, I mean, that made him, that completed him. But without that, like, I think there's so many people that discount what he did because of the way everything ended.
Yeah, no doubt. What did he win? 3 titles as the head coach? And he did so many good things that people just copied him offensively over the years. So, yeah, he's a legend.
He was just easy to dislike, though.
He was a dick.
He threw a chair once, I heard. So,
he did one time. That was not
can you imagine
limited.
coaching like that today, NIL? I mean, how quick, or not NIL, just transfer portal, how quick would guys be out of there?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much they're making. I mean, you throw one chair. I don't know.
All right, he is TJ Sandy is the head coach of the Birmingham Squadron, and they've got a watch party tonight down at Avondale. If you want to go enjoy the NBA Draft Round 1 tonight, you can go down to Avondale 7 o'clock. Coach will be there. Tell him you enjoyed him on the show. Talk a little hoop with him. Not college, but pro.
Yeah, pro for sure. I think hopefully one of our players, Isaiah Brockington, who played for us the last couple of years, will be there. trying to avoid the rain. It starts at 7. I think there's going to be a little rain in the afternoon, but it should be a fun time.
You do freaking weather, too?
Boy, we can
What's
use
that?
it.
You do weather, too?
No, I just got it from Dawson just a second ago.
So let me ask you this. I mean, Jokic has obviously been dominant, but this year people started to talk about Luka towards the final. If you could only draft one guy right now to start an NBA team, who would be your guy?
Well, it's interesting because 4 of the 5 first-team All-NBA guys this year were foreign. Jason Tatum's the only guy who's, American. If I were drafting one of those 2?
No, or Giannis. I mean, I'm just talking. You can have anybody in the NBA right now to start your team.
Oh, I'm taking Zion Williamson, baby.
Yeah.
Corporate company man.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey.
keep him healthy. Get him off that buffet.
Here you go. Local TV. This guy in front of a weather wall when season ticket sales start to kick in. Get him to do local weather 5, 6, and 10 one night and drop a Squadron logo on there.
MyBookie.ag chat room, they also want to know if he's seen the video cut-ups of our pickup game before the Squadron game.
Where do you guys play at?
No, we played at your gym.
We played at the best in the G League. Yeah.
The quality wasn't as high because I was on vacation.
That's right.
Who's the leading scorer here?
I thought the rims were a little stiff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That NBA three-pointer is a haul.
It's different.
You would not think it's that big of a difference, but, buddy, it is.
It's a big difference. That is something we do look at. Free throw percentage over the course of history, even if you're not a good three-point shooter, is kind of an inclination of like they can grow in that area. So sometimes you see like a player in college who shoots maybe 32% from 3, and you think, okay, we're going to move the line back. It's going to be tougher. But if their free throw percentage is a little bit higher, you can kind of work with them in that wiggle room.
Yeah. That's all I found is, boy, that first 3 I shot from the pro, I was like, this is a haul.
Landed in the paint.
I did not draw
like a medicine ball.
Yeah, that's an alley-oop, man. You got to get that. Coach, thank you for the time. Always good to see you.
No, thank you guys. You guys have a good product.
We appreciate it. Nice
Thank
of you
you.
to say.
I challenge you not to send anybody a clip for 24 hours. See if you can go 24
That's
hours.
going to be tough.
Yeah. We've got trash when we come back and more basketball to end the show. Chris Jans joins us. He knows a little bit about defense. We'll talk basketball with him coming up at 11:45 as we continue to become a basketball show, no longer a football show. This is the next round. Remember, Roback and our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Mississippi State head basketball coach Chris Jans coming up at 11:45 Central Time. We're going to have a little bit from the Jim Schlossnagle introductory news conference at Texas. Little T has just sent out a clip from at Next Round Live on Twitter. If you follow us there or anywhere, you get the first reaction to everything going on in the world there. So we always encourage you at Next Round Live. The show being brought to you by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They've got 2 lots there, and they have repriced both those lots. So confident in the pricing, in fact, that they will beat any price nationwide. That is a guarantee. Bring up a price on a comparable RV. They will beat it anywhere in the country. That is Johnston RV Center. They also have RV warranty forever, giving you that lifetime warranty on anything new and qualifying used. JohnstonRVCenter.com. JohnstonRVCenter.com or in person, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. It is Johnston RV Center.
Jim Schlossnagle was the head coach at Texas A&M as they lost in the national championship game Monday. Tuesday, he took the head coaching job at rival Texas. But Monday night, he had the reaction when asked about the possibility of him taking the Texas job, where he lit into reporter Richard Zane, who asked the question. In his introductory news conference about 28 minutes ago, here is the new head coach at Texas.
It's a question after our game the other night. We're playing for the national championship. And as I said in my press conference when I took the A&M job, there would never be a time that I wasn't invested in that program. And there never was a time I wasn't invested. I gave when I say I, our staff, we gave everything we possibly could to win that last ball game. And when the game ended, I want to publicly apologize to Richard Zane from TexAgs. He's a young reporter. He asked the question. That was an obvious question. I wish I could have answered that better. But in the moment, 30 minutes after the last pitch, all I could think about was our players. And I really wasn't in the mood to talk about myself or the future. So I apologize for that to Richard.
I respect that. I mean, he did not have to do that. He could have just let that go. And
he had to do it.
No, I disagree. I don't think a lot of coaches would have done that. I don't disagree.
No,
I disagree with you.
I think most. I mean, this thing is nationwide. I mean, it's people that don't even talk about college baseball are talking about it.
I know, but it will get forgotten. He'll be the coach at Texas.
It'll never be forgotten.
Oh, people move on so quick.
No,
now.
I'm just saying, attached to him, I get it. Tomorrow there could be a scandal tonight. Nobody's talking about it tomorrow. But I'm just talking about when his name comes back up, it is going to be a storyline for the rest of his career.
But I don't think he had to apologize to the reporter. He's in front of his fans now. That guy's in the rear view. I respect it.
Bobby Schloss is a douchebag, next level douchebag. Keith says BS. He was thinking about a bigger check. Not that. JM, I don't respect that. Give me a break. Bob, he's making it worse after the apology. Gary, note card for an apology. Don't respect that.
They really, I mean, his agents are the ones that work this up. Do you guys think, though, it would have been worse or better if they won the national championship and he leaves the job? Like, he knew he was going either way.
That would have been really tricky.
That's just weird. So, win or lose, he was out of there. And can you imagine winning a national championship for your bitter rival and already having Texas on the brain? It's really strange.
Yeah. Keith said y'all haven't forgotten Saban. It's 18 years later.
Oh, we played it there.
Yeah, it got played earlier.
Little different. Just a little bit.
A little different. All right. It is time for trash. Our friends at Mortgage Right bring you that every day. Hit the big button, Rockstar.
I was in
in the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. Speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. This is not island worthy, but this has become a problem, and there are just certain things we shouldn't have to worry about in life. We shouldn't have to worry about our kids at school.
I agree.
You shouldn't have to worry about going to a movie or going to a church.
I agree.
You shouldn't have to worry about Amazon delivering a package and people stealing it off your doorstep.
I agree. Porch pirates.
Police are investigating bizarre package theft that happened Wednesday, where a doorbell camera showed two men race to steal a box just moments after the FedEx delivery driver left it outside the home.
So now the thieves are fighting one another for it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's
The video, what's interesting about the video, I don't know if I can find the video now because I don't know if I can show it, but the Amazon guy is literally, I think this is the Amazon guy.
So he hasn't even pulled away yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is leaving, he drops the package off, takes the picture of it, and walks off, and you see these two cars quickly pull up just as he's not even past the driveway yet. I mean, he sees them, and they both are hauling ass to get this thing.
So what
He
you
doesn't do
basically
anything.
have are people following the Amazon or the FedEx now, and when they drop a package, they don't even know what it is.
Right.
Like, example.
I mean, what if it could be like it's a bunch of hair bows? I mean, what?
One of my rim got busted on the pool this past weekend, and so I had to order another one. And I waited for days for that rim to come in. And one of these guys could have stole a plastic rim that's worth like $3.
That's right.
That was our entire weekend.
Yeah,
Or you could get, this could be 6 iPads. You never know.
Yeah. Despicable human
So
beings.
this video comes from Berks Community, about 70 miles northwest of Philadelphia. The delivery driver seen placing the package on the home's front landing. Within seconds, two men, as Rockstar said, separate cars, spring onto the scene. Kevin Lahr, the man who posted the video on Facebook, said the stolen package contained cell phones that he had ordered for AT&T. Police said Allentown's WFVMZ that police are working to identify the two suspects. It's going to be tough to identify those two.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not the best photo of them.
I've got a business idea.
All right.
That I'm not going to share with you guys. I mean, I'm going to share with you guys. I'm not going to share it on the air because we could do this. But I feel like these sometimes are inside jobs because they're running for, what is it? What do they have? Multiple cell phones in there?
So you think the Amazon guy is, or Amazon person is tipping off?
I think some of these are probably inside jobs. I really don't think two guys would fight for a couple of cell phones. Now, maybe.
How does the delivery guy know what's in the package?
Yeah.
He's just a delivery guy.
I guess if he knows it's coming from AT&T, you assume it's cell phone.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good bet there's something in there that's worth something from AT&T or Apple or something
I don't
like
know,
that.
but if it's an inside job, you don't tip off two. You've only got one.
Okay, remind me of our business idea in the break.
Okay, Jim.
Man has found himself behind bars after he allegedly reported a fake bomb in a Publix bathroom in an apparent ruse to distract deputies as he stole a shopping cart full of meat from the grocery store. Again, a lot of work here. A lot of work. Dallas Britt, the man you see there, 46, arrested and charged with the following after the incident that unfolded at Publix this past Saturday evening.
I got Jerry Rice. I'm trying to think of the second.
A little Kobe.
Little Penny
Jerry
Hardaway.
Rice and Kobe.
Jerry Rice and Kobe. Maybe some Penny Hardaway in there.
$1 million worth of game. Whoever that host is looks a little like that guy. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a little Kobe and a little
Kobe
Jerry
there.
Rice.
Yep.
Tired eyes. Dallas Britt, though, is this guy, 46 years old. County Sheriff's Office received 911 call from a man, later identified as Britt, who said there was a bomb in the grocery store bathroom. He goes on to say, quote, somebody put a bomb in the bathroom. It's in the garbage can. It's ticking. 10 law enforcement officials made their way to Publix to investigate the bomb threat. When deputies arrived, Britt was reportedly making his way out of the store with a shopping cart full of meat products. The items weren't bagged, and deputies believed they were being stolen. According to the affidavit, they asked to see Britt's receipt, and he said he was on his way to a car to get his wallet. Deputies called the phone number used to call in the bomb threat, and guess what? His flip phone started ringing.
Oh, wow. How'd that happen?
Shopping cart worth nearly $375 of groceries. He was booked, by the way.
Had a big barbecue planned. Yeah.
It's close.
Okay, here are the most bizarre items smuggled through airport security. Perhaps the most frightening of all smuggling incidents involves a 2-month-old tiger cub. In 2010, at an airport in Bangkok, Thailand, security personnel inspected a bag full of stuffed toys. When they felt one of the teddy bears was a little warm, much to their shock, they found a tiger cub in between all the innocent plush toys. Woman accompanying the bag said she was unaware of the tiger cub.
I thought it looked real.
And was supposed to smuggle it to Iran. Well, if you're unaware, but you're supposed to smuggle it.
Yeah, I know.
And the sad part is, I took it out of the story, but they had it sedated. Like, it's just sedated the thing and then put it in a bag full of plush toys. I mean, she didn't know it was there. I feel bad for her. She had no idea she had a live tiger.
I've slept on worse than plush toys, though.
But just like, it was zipped up in a bag.
Yeah.
Here's another bizarre item smuggled through airport security. One of the most bizarre cases of human smuggling, a widow and her stepdaughter attempted to transport a dead elderly man from Liverpool to Berlin by pretending that he was just a sleeping passenger.
How are we going to do that?
We've had a movie about this. Despite the woman's insistence that the old man was resting his eyes, airport staff knew otherwise. Woman attempted the scheme to avoid the cost of transporting the body. However, their plan did not succeed. They were both arrested. I'm going to assume we've had some of these on trash.
Yeah, but you also commando.
I kind of remember that one.
The guy was taking commando, and he said, "Please do not insult my friend."
I remember that lady tried to cash a check for that dead guy and took him to the bank.
That's right. She moved his arm.
There's video of that.
Yeah.
How about this one? In 2007, Australian customs agents found over 10 ounces of ecstasy hidden inside of a Mr. Potato Head doll. Toy came from Ireland, and officers discovered the drugs when they noticed the back panel of the toy looked abnormal.
I like that the eyes are on the ecstasy.
Yeah, they knew the X.
Good idea.
They knew the X was inside Mr. Potato Head when they moved the carrot to a little bit lower on the body part of Mr. Potato Head there.
So I think a lot of the ecstasy, again, never done X in my life, no desire to do X, but I have been around people that have done it, and a lot of the X pills used to have different logos on them. And like I remember there was a Mike Tyson ecstasy going around in the late 80s. So I'm just wondering if Mr. Potato Head has become a theme because of this one situation. And I wonder if they stamp any of it with it. Finally, South Korean woman attempted to smuggle dozens of tadpoles in her mouth, making this one of the most unusual smuggling methods. Woman was asked to drink or discard her water bottle during a routine security check. She sipped the water but did not swallow, which prompted security to become suspicious. Was asked to spit out the liquid, and that's when dozens of tadpoles poured out.
I mean, what's your plan?
Yeah, I mean, tadpoles, you go like anywhere near a lake, you can get them for nothing.
Yeah, no, but just going like flying to Atlanta from here, sitting there with your mouth closed, breathe through your nose, and just hopefully these things don't swallow.
Final story here. Northern Missouri woman is accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of lottery tickets from her workplace. Kelsey Slitzner, 34, was charged this week with felony stealing. According to documents, she stole approximately 36 books of lottery tickets, estimated value $24,000. Suspect said she put the stolen tickets in her purse. And that's when she was arrested. I don't. What?
Is she saying it's a mistake?
No, she would. I don't know how she did this. It says that she would take a cup,
put it over the camera,
and then steal. But like, I don't understand how you're.
Yeah, but when you're putting your over the camera, you're getting
Yes,
I would think that's a red flag.
And then you're taking it off.
And then they come back and realize we're missing about $20,000 worth.
That's so weird.
All right, I'm going to start with
addition. He says,
"I got to spit a tadpole in that."
Thank you, Michael, for chiming in over there. Welcome to your 30s. When we come back, we'll talk basketball with Chris Jans, head coach of the Hell State, Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's on the other side right here on the show, being brought to you by Champy's, world-famous fried chicken. Better than tadpoles is fried chicken, especially when you get it from Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's. Highway 119 in Alabaster, brined overnight, then cooked to order, piping hot when it comes out, all the great sides. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. If you like good coleslaw, they got it there too. And don't forget the Sweet Tooth. They have specially made desserts right there at Champy's for over a decade on that location. Highway 119 is champy'schicken.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Our friends at Longest Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Longest offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Longest offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Longest sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Longest has to offer you.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back with you on the next round. If you missed Jacob Hester or TJ Saint or any of our interviews this week, always available for you on our YouTube channel, but also Apple and Spotify at Next Round Live. Like and subscribe everywhere.
All right, the head basketball coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs, Coach Chris Jans, joins us now. I would call this an off-season. I bet he would laugh at me. I don't think there's an off-season in college athletics anymore. Welcome in, Coach. How are you today?
I'm good, Ryan. Appreciate y'all having me. And I'd say there's good times and bad in terms of the workload, but not much of an off season. You're correct.
You have 8 nets and the shot behind you. That may not be all that are in your office. Do each of them have a separate significance? Like, do you know the significance of every single net that is hanging there?
I do personally. Nobody's ever asked me that. So kudos to you. I know what they all mean, and I'm not going to bore you with what they are, but they do have significance for me.
That's cool. All right.
Okay. Well, you said good and bad comes with this profession. Let's go back March 21st, 2019. What do you remember about that?
I think we won a game that day.
Is
that correct?
I think you lost to Auburn in the opening round of the NCAA tournament.
Oh, no, Lance.
The only reason I bring this up is,
Lance.
I mean, look, you've moved on, greener pastures. You're having a lot of success in Starkville. But I just want to ask you what you remember most about the ending of that game.
You're going to have a hard time getting me on here if we're going to talk about bad. Just FYI. I remember it vividly, unfortunately. We were down most of the game and made a ferocious comeback, and our guys put themselves in position to have a chance to survive and advance. And, one of my guys had a 3-point shot that was fouled. He was fouled on. And to this day, if I could choose one kid on that team to be at the line to win a game in the NCAA tournament, it would have been him. I felt really good about who was at the line. And then it was one of those deals, like, I felt like I was the manager of a baseball pitcher, and he was throwing a no-hitter, and, they go to the video monitor for time and all that and this and that and the other, and it took forever. And I didn't know what to say to him. So I could just ignore him the whole time. And unfortunately, we made 1 of 3, and then we got the rebound and had an out of bounds play and shot a corner 3, and our best player shot it and didn't make it, and we lost, and Auburn went on and went to the Final Four, and we had to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, that's why we've always said I think that it's the most difficult sport to win a national championship in is college basketball, because you see a team like Auburn that comes down to it, they end up going to the Final Four. If it wasn't for maybe a non-travel call, they might have won a national championship. It's so competitive once you get to the tournament, so many upsets, and we've said it before, we think it's the most difficult national championship.
Well, it's a beautiful game. I mean, that's why, people love watching it, especially those 3 weeks in March, because there's games like we had with Auburn in 19. And like you said, they were a travel call away from winning it. And they're also a free throw away from not advancing out of the first round. So it's very crazy at times. And, that's why they play the games. But I think that's one of the reasons why, those 3 weeks in March, why even the casual fan is drawn to it, because of the finishes and the storylines. It just delivers, right? It delivers every single year.
We're big SEC fans, and we love all the communities. Starkville's one of my favorite. For those people that haven't been to Starkville, what have you fallen in love with about that community and that fan base there in Starkville, Mississippi?
It's all Bulldogs, man. They wear it on their chest. They love supporting the programs. It's a very prideful community. They've got a little chip on their shoulder. I don't think they'd mind me saying that. I think they feel disrespected at times. And, for me personally, I maybe have a little bit of a tiny chip on my shoulder as well. So I think we get along that way. But, I was born in the Midwest, so, the Southern hospitality is real here, and it's been welcoming, and, it's got a charming side to it, if you will. And, it's a great place to live. Obviously, it's a college, small town. I grew up, a town of 1,000 people with no street light, no stoplights, and no fast food. So, this feels like Dallas to what I experienced for my first 18 years. But it's been so far so good, and we love being here.
Coach Chris Jans is with us, head basketball coach for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. But this conference is only getting more difficult. I mean, you take a job, then Texas and Oklahoma are about to come in. We talk about, which sports are going to be the most difficult, adding those teams, and basketball's got to be one of them. That's 2 great programs, and it's already such a difficult conference. Just to add those 2 in, Coach, is just makes it even more incredible.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I love that we're doing it. I love the fact that Greg Sankey's our commissioner, and he's on our side, if you will. And he's obviously been a little bit ahead of the curve, I think, than a lot of folks in that space. And he's put our league in a wonderful position, or he's helped put our league in a wonderful position. And, that's where it's at right now. The Power 6, 5, and, now, arguably it's the Power 4. And, we're one of the leagues that's kind of leading the way. And it's just great competition. I think all the student athletes would agree, and I think most of the coaches would say the same, is, that's the goal, right? To be in a position to play against the best, compete against the best. And that's what we get to do in the SEC each and every night. That's my favorite part about being in this league, is that every game means so much, and there's so much riding on it, and the fan bases are awesome. Everyone has their own little niche, but they all are supported at a high level. And it's just a lot of fun to be at a place and be a part of a program that, gets to play on that platform and gets to compete against the very best, each and every night.
You mentioned the early days for you. You grew up in Fairbank, Iowa. You played at Loras. 133 threes made your senior year. Like, if you and Josh Hubbard got out there, who would win a game of horse?
Me.
I actually believe that. I guarantee you can still shoot it.
Yeah, as long as there's no, running involved, and, no, just catch and shoot, like step into it and catch and shoot. Nah, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't win today. Like 10 years ago, I would have. Like, I'd get in the gym and I'd shoot jumpers, before or after practice. I'm not saying I'd work out, but I'd put a couple up, and it's like riding a bike. And now, okay, I don't do that anymore. Like, I don't shoot the ball very often anymore in practice. I just don't. And so I can't. And the line's a little longer now. Like, when I do shoot, I'm like, that's a different shot than it was, back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I joke with them that I'm the best shooter in the gym, but unfortunately, I don't think that's the case anymore. But I could probably get it back. I'd probably get down there and take me, a couple of days to get it back and shoot up a couple hundred, and it would probably come back to me. But
what's the most you had in a game?
I made 10 threes in one game. In college, and that was fun. I was 10 for 13 actually.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, what's the most you've ever missed in the game? Because
I attempted 24 in one game. I only made 8, so I was 8 for 24, but still 33%.
Yeah, you take that for one of your guys, right?
Yeah.
Would you take 8 for 24? Would you say something to him about taking that many shots?
Depends on who it is.
Yeah.
Josh Hubbard.
Yeah, he can shoot 50 of them. You can get him off. He's going to make his fair share. So you got to play the analytical game, right?
Hey, where do we get the nickname the dentist? I think it was it John Rothstein from CBS? But what was the true backstory? Because a dentist is a necessary guy out there, not necessarily somebody you want to see, though.
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to nicknames, you don't choose them. Most people that I know don't choose their nickname. And when it comes to John Rothstein deciding that he is going to give you a nickname, he doesn't consult with you. It just pops up, and I find out about it when y'all find out about it. So usually my response to that is, it could have been worse. Right? I could have been worse nickname, but I'm just rolling with it, and whatever. It's just part of the deal.
Yeah, and the way I understood it is going to play your defense is like going to the dentist. Is that a compliment? Do you like Nick Saban in his introduction news conference when I was there and he was at Alabama? He said, "We want to make people hate playing us. We want to punish them that much." Do you feel like other teams hate playing your defense?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not going to speak for them. That'd be a question better served to ask, those coaches. I can't imagine that would be the case, or even if it was, if they would actually admit that, even though, again, I'm not saying that is the case. But we definitely, have some pride on that end of the floor. And it's kind of how I was raised back in the day, even though I could shoot it a little bit and score it in a very low level of college basketball, but how I was coached and how I was raised in basketball by my early mentors, coaches, that's where it started, was that end of the floor, and that could always travel. I know it's an old cliche that defense travels, but I believe in it. And then we added the rebounding part of it, and certainly trying to be one of the tougher teams that's out there. And but that's kind of, I guess, the backdrop of why he chose that is that no one likes to go to the dentist, and apparently our teams, in his opinion, aren't that fun to play against.
Yeah. So you spent a lot of time in New Mexico, obviously with New Mexico State. You ever watch Breaking Bad?
I've watched it twice.
Oh, no, me too. Wow.
Yeah, I watched it the first time, and then during COVID, my second to last year there, during our the 20 season, our governor was very strict when it came to COVID protocol. So our whole program had to go to Phoenix for 71 days in a row and try to create a bubble. And we had a massive COVID even there. And so we really were away from our families, didn't leave the resort unless it was for a game or a practice. And we practiced most days on site. But anyway, long story short, I had all this time on my hand. No one was around, just me in a hotel. So I rewatched it. So I watched it for the second time, and like anything, you pick up some things. And certainly when I watched it the first time, I wasn't at New Mexico, living in New Mexico. So watching it the second time when I was, living in the state of New Mexico was just kind of a cooler perspective, and I could relate to, some of the areas and the mountains and all that stuff that was going on.
Yeah, really cool. Coach, we appreciate the time. It's been good to talk with you. Hope we can do it again soon.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Thank
Hail
you.
State.
Thank you, Coach. Take care. That is Chris Jans, the basketball coach there at Mississippi State, doing a nice job. Now, look, I mean, it's a tough conference, 8-10 in 2 years.
It's a tough state now with Chris Beard
Yeah,
across
there's
it.
no doubt about it. But 2 trips to the one to the first 4 and then one to the NCAA tournament. So
the guy can coach.
No, he can flat coach.
But the problem is there's so many guys that can't coach in this league.
Yeah, and it's only getting tougher, as I pointed out. Though, I would say coaching-wise, I would put him in front of Terry at Texas. I think Chris Jan's a better coach than him. Porter Mosier,
I mean,
what the guy did at Loyola is hard to overlook.
It's hard to ignore.
So I don't know that he drops down the coaching list that much with the guys coming in.
I don't know if he left here liking us or disliking us right now.
You want me to text him and ask?
Yeah.
I mean, we started it off with the Auburn question. Just, most of these coaches, photogenic memories when it comes to bad losses. Just wanted to see what he remembered about it.
I appreciate Chris Jans being with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. If you missed any part of the show, you can go back and catch it in its entirety right when we're done here. Always there for you. All 733 shows available for you on YouTube forever and ever. Rockstar?
Oh, real quick, we got for the Meltdown today, we got the Trivia Tornado Championship. It's me and Laurel versus Ush and EG and the dark horse of Taylor and Reed.
Taylor and Reed, the
finals
upset.
are today. The championship's 2 p.m. live.
Oh, wow. Can I do the introductions in this corner?
Please.
Yeah. And now, from North Carolina. All right. Thanks for being with us. That Meltdown is live today, 2 Central, on our platforms here. Just look for the Meltdown icon. And you can jump in there. New Pennant Grace coming live Thursday. That's tomorrow. Uncorked is out, and a lot more happening at Roll Tide Pods and War Dam Pods. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.